Disgusting.
Yucky stuff.
Are we ready? Is this in the way of the frame?
Boom, 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 selector. Boom, 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 selector. Boom, 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 selector.
Gong, gong, gong.
Boom, 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 selector.
Gong, gong, gong.
Boom, 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 selector. Boom, 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 selector.
Gong, gong, gong.
Boom, 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 selector.
Gong, gong, gong.
Boom, 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 selector.
Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to episode 147
Bow, bow, bow.
of Hypermen's, and we are back in the building once again. Straight into introductions. I'm Kesi, aka K's Boogie in the cut. What it do?
Boy, Mr. Tariba, Sammy T for damn well nasty.
And it's Mr. MBT, the world boss. Fuck the other boss. He's coming out soon.
Hey,
Well, then don't say fucking too much.
you can, man.
Come on now.
Be careful now.
Look, no. Fuck that other world boss because I have taken over.
And the thing is, everyone's been celebrating that he's coming out. He potentially may not be coming
Exactly.
out. I don't know why
Exactly.
everyone's saying he's coming out.
Do you know there was a few years ago they said he was coming out and what happened? He went back in.
No. He won his appeal.
Yeah.
So this is different territory.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's different territory. But now what it means is that it's going back to,
Take him to trial.
I think it's going back to the Jamaica High
Jamaican
Court
courts, yeah.
for them to decide if they want to do a retrial or if they just want to let him back out.
I think the UK's appeal court is the highest level of appeals you can have because Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth, I think.
Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that might be it. So the appeal court has overturned that gosh. I was a chiropractor crack.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry.
So they've overturned his sentencing because they said there was a mistrial. Now it's going back to Jamaican courts, and now it's time for the Jamaican courts to say, okay, cool, we'll chuck it out. But they still might say, you know what, F you're gonna stay inside.
Yeah, word.
So
And I was talking to my hairdresser on Friday. Shout out Kerry.
Kerry.
Kerry is Jamaican, and she was giving me the news straight from the source.
Wow.
Okay. And basically, she was like, yeah, he's definitely coming out.
Oh.
Like, anyway, this is all barbershop
Jamaicans
talk.
won him out.
I don't know about that part. She didn't give me that
yeah.
intel. But basically what she was saying was that he's definitely coming out. But if he does come out, he's going to sue Jamaica. Jamaica's finished because obviously he was in there for 10 years. And if it gets overturned, if there's no evidence, then he's coming for their necks. But the problem is that he had so much influence, there was a point that he had more influence than the Jamaican government.
Wow.
And so it was more dangerous to have him out.
That's it.
And so, than to let him be free.
I don't know about him coming after the country though. I mean, they might give him some money, but
I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, hello everybody.
Hi.
Looks like there are two world bosses outside potentially. But anyway, let's get straight into the episode. Is there anything that we want to chat about before we begin?
Do you know what? Yeah, no, there is one thing I want to chat about, but I forgot the rapper's name. So we were talking about something when we were with Justice and the lads for his birthday. You know, Yemi was talking about some rapper or someone that's been in prison for 760 years or something like that.
Oh, is it the American
Max
rapper
B.
that got sentenced? No, some guy got sentenced because of like 17 cases of manslaughter or something like that. It was
16 counts of manslaughter.
yeah,
16.
something crazy.
Yes. That's what I was looking for. I might need to message Yemi about it. But mate, when we heard that on Saturday, I was like, what have you done?
How many years?
Kid Creole.
Yeah.
Kid
the hell is
Creole
that?
from the Furious 5.
Let me see what it looks like.
Kid Creole from the Furious 5 sentenced to 16 years for manslaughter.
Sorry, he's
No,
73.
that's not the guy.
Are we
That's
talking
not
about
the
the same
guy.
person
It's
or
not the
what?
guy.
That's not the
No,
guy.
it's not the guy.
There was a rapper sentenced to stupid amounts of
760
time
years
because
imprisonment.
of manslaughter. I don't know who it is. It could be any one of these rappers. There's a few of them out there.
Would you like to know the longest prison sentence that's ever been handed down?
2,072 years.
No.
Oh.
Your turn?
1,000 years.
No. 141,078 years.
What did the person do? Steal the world.
Woo! It was in Thailand.
How many years?
141,078 years.
So does his descendants have to serve the sentence?
Everybody, your
They-
son, times 777.
They said when you die, we'll wake you up for your second rebirth.
Yeah,
When he dies, they're gonna let him die. I'm sorry, you still got more time. You can't die.
Do you know what? It actually looks like this is a woman woman that's been sentenced.
No.
Yeah, it looks like she's a lady.
Oh, they're gonna put on ice.
So she was involved, or they were involved in a pyramid scheme that defrauded 16,231 people out of an estimated total between 200 million and 301 million. That's not even
300 mil.
No.
140,000 years for 200 mil.
So, wait, what did they do to Hush
Hush
Puppy?
Puppy got like 5.
Nah, that can't be right, man.
Impossible.
I don't know. I think that's fake news.
She probably kidnapped and killed people.
No,
100%.
I feel like fraud must be like down bad out in Thailand. For sure. It must be like the worst thing you could do.
I'm not buying that.
I was about to say something that would have been a bit. But yeah, let me leave it there.
Okay.
Anyway, in other news, I did want to say hoodies are on their way, guys. Please just wait.
If you are listening, whoopsies. If you are listening, it will do you well to come on down to YouTube Town where you can see these trainers in a what?
In a real life.
If you're already here, hi.
Hey.
I know you can see them right now. Don't worry.
You might be a little confused.
Shortly. Yeah, don't be too confused. Okay. But yes, if you cannot make it down, don't worry. We shall describe them as they appear. To those of you who are on YouTube, I know what you're thinking, Kesi. There are no trainers on the table. That is because we are doing our current favorites. But what we are doing on this occasion is we have brought our favorite trainers and we are going to rank them as we go. So we're going to present and then rule.
Only one could get the pedestal.
Yeah.
Oh, period. Come on now.
You have to justify your shoe. Like, you're basically, when they ask you, they know a great seller when they can sell a pen. This is one of those situations. Okay. Dragon's Den.
Wow, we're about to really speaking through.
So let's see who's going first.
No, we have to go to the right of me. We have
rock, paper, scissors, man.
Yeah, that's rock, paper, scissors. I feel like it's fair because...
Cool, let's go.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, let's go. No, I was gonna go hand.
So I'm going to pick who's going first.
Okay.
Kesi, go first. It goes Tobi, then it's me.
Oh wow.
Save the best for last. Okay. Treat.
That don't mean you're on the pedestal. We can swap it out. Don't worry.
It gives me time to justify.
How long do I have to sell my item? Can we put 30 seconds on the clock?
30 seconds max.
All right.
30 seconds.
Oh wait, I know. If I present it, that doesn't. Wait. Presenting the shoes doesn't come in my 30 seconds. Let me just say it for the people, and then I'll get my 30 seconds to vote.
Presenting is 30 seconds.
No. I mean to announce the trainer.
So you're telling me when you're announcing them with your business, it's not that's not part of the.
All right, whatever. 30 seconds starts from now.
1, 2, go.
This is the A6 Gel Canayo 14. You've seen it before. That's because everybody either has it or wants it. Period. Okay. When I got them, a certain person to the right of me said, I need to have them. In fact, we actually just came back from A6 because he said that he wanted to order them so bad. He needs them really, really badly. And Tobi has them as well. He also knows it is one of his favorites. So it's really hard for me to say that it shouldn't be on the pedestal if everybody wants it so bad. Okay. Thank you. I'm done. Thank you. I was even going to try and chat more. Come on, I claim my time.
That's actually pretty good. Well done. Well done.
Take it off the pedestal. Don't deserve to be there.
All right, cool. I'll go next.
All right.
Yes.
1, 2, put on there. I'm going to give you your time as soon as it drops. Go.
I mean, the box on the table is already the box for this shoe. So let's just say that the pedestal belongs to this shoe specifically because it's the shoe of the year, the shoe of the season, the shoe of life. This shoe is perfect. Even though it's flat-footed, for those with wide feet, they still work. Not too wide now, be careful. But this is best level. It's butter. It's butter. It's butter. It's butter. It's butter. It can be beaten. It can be kept clean. It can be done everything. You can use it to clean, wash, go to school, graduate, go to an interview, and you will still look cool. Wide leg, skinny. Actually, no, let's not do skinny. Wide leg trousers, anything like that, perfect. If you want to wear some shorts with it, go for it. But keep away from the booty shorts.
Thank you. Last pair. Let me get the timer. Right for when it drops.
Okay, guys, this is the Asics gel Canaeas, just like Kesi said earlier on. But the only difference is this is a very, very neutral colorway shoe. Also, it comes in the orange, as you can see. This trainer goes with everything. Whether you wear jeans, trousers, skirts, shorts, it goes with everything, guys. I think I have the better colorway. With Kesi's one, the reason why I wouldn't pick it is only because she didn't want the trainer. So why would you want the trainer? Why would you want a trainer? When they first came out, she didn't want
That's time.
Right, okay. So, ultimately, we now have to come to some sort of agreement on what's going on the pedestal. I'll go first. You guys got the same shoe.
Your shoe's last.
You guys got the same shoe.
Your shoe's
All
last.
right, let's
Take it off the pedestal.
let's eliminate. Okay.
All right.
I want to start by eliminating Tobi's pair.
What the heck? Are you guys okay? Your shoe is last. The shoe of the season. The shoe of the year.
I do. The reason why I want to eliminate the shoe. In fact, let's bring it back.
Yes, please.
The reason why I'm going to eliminate
Side profile and from aerial profile, these are much better.
Aerial profile.
Yes, they are.
Not bird's eye view.
They are.
if
bird's eye
aerial
view.
profile.
Bird's eye view between the Sambas and the Asics. Sambas beat it hands down.
This is how we're gonna do it, yeah? Let's all start being concise.
All right, cool.
Look, this is not the best samba that's out there. The Wales Bonnet, if we're going by collaborations, the Wales Bonnet samba is a lot
That's
nicer.
fair.
The texture is a lot
Did you ask
nicer.
them?
Yes, I
the
do
buttery
have.
leather
You should
of
have brought
these
that
aren't
one.
as nice.
No, but the reason why I didn't bring that, 'cause it's not as wearable,
I'm still
but hey.
judging. What was the next one? Universalness. It
Yeah.
is very universal. It's
More
the samba,
universal
the
than
shoe of the
Asics.
season.
No.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me, can I just get through my review?
Go.
Okay, it's universal for sure. Yes, it's everybody's wearing it right now. What was the next one?
I feel like that's fine.
No pedestal, that's fine.
That's fine. No.
no.
Why did you put mine first? Don't put mine
Hell
first.
no.
All right, let's put mine first. All right, fine.
This is going to the
As
pedestal.
far
Mine
as,
was going
as far as the look goes, we all know that this is the colorway
This
we all
is the bad
enjoy.
looking colorway.
You literally tried to buy it 30 minutes
you
ago.
tried to buy it before you got here.
No, because now I've said to myself, I do like the green ones. That
No, you said that because it wasn't there. There's a
You
difference.
just tried to buy it 30 minutes
so why
ago.
did you not allow me to
And let
buy
me
it?
tell you,
Because it wasn't there.
Sunday afternoon when we went to Lakeside, I went to go and get a coffee. What did Michael say? Can we go first hand quickly? I'm looking for the Asics. Thank you so
It's on
much.
the pedestal.
Style is obviously a gorgeous colour. Comfort
Look,
is
you've
5
won.
out of
Okay,
5.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's.
It's not. That one's not making it.
This is
not
the
making
Aces, it's
it.
Aces Caneo as well, isn't it?
It's a
not making
Cayano
it. The
and it's
colorway
not
is
quite.
the colorway is more basic than this.
Do you know what? You're just justifying me buying those shoes. You just
And with
done
that, I feel like I've bullied my way onto the pedestal.
it. No, I
today.
don't think you bullied your way. It's just
It's a rightful win.
Yeah.
Is it well deserved?
Yeah.
It is well deserved. It's definitely a better pair than that.
Toby,
Come on,
I
let's keep
wouldn't
it
say
a
that
buck,
well
man.
deserved.
And I don't think the people would. I'd like to hear. I'd like to see what
All right,
everyone
guys.
says
Will
online.
you let us know in the comments what you
Please
think?
do.
Yeah. Do you think that this is a rightful order? Okay. Is this 3, 2, 1?
No. It's just pedestal and on the floor.
It's free.
It's my 3, 2, 1. I'll be honest with you. Let us know in the
She
comments
said I
what
don't
you
care
think.
about 2 or 3. I'm 1.
Let us know in the comments what you think what the order should be. But
Yeah.
until then, I think that brings us to the end of Tables Trainers.
Trainers tables. All right, guys. So every single week we come with the latest news about music, fashion, culture, and what's popping in the music industry. So the first thing on the list is Alanuko. So as you know, our last episode we used that as a case study for our episode, but we have more feedback, more news about this whole debacle. Now all I can say is that I am very happy for Alanuko for speaking her truth and not being a brand that was silent whilst everything was happening. I think in the social media age that we're in, it's very easy for a lot of people to be like, okay, you know what? I know the truth, so let me keep the truth. Whoever rocks with me, and whoever doesn't, basically piss off. And in this situation, I like the fact that she protected her brand, which is very important in this day and age, and she brought the supporting facts. So what she ended up doing is she released a 2-part post. One they both gave a lot of context in regards to the whole procedure, and she had evidence. Now guys, let me tell you something. In this corporate world that we live in, if you don't have the evidence, I'm telling you, you will get rolled over like a rolling pin. And what she did, she gave all the evidence from emails to appointments to videos, all of that type of stuff. And I'm very happy that she came with it, because in this day and age, it's very easy for any brand to get destroyed. Cancel culture, like Toby said in the last episode, is so big right now, and it is destroying a lot of brands. So well done to Alanuko. Do you guys want to say anything?
Yes, I think one of the most important things about this scenario and this situation, this case study, is there's 2 things. But for Alanuko, the way that the infrastructure, if her infrastructure and her framework wasn't set up right, we would have just been out here believing someone that said they paid 21 grand. And she absolutely didn't. Like that's
crazy.
It is a little bit scary how someone can just up and lie like that and say that they spent a certain amount when they know that they didn't.
Trying to make herself look a certain type of way.
And then
that's
go
mad.
onto live and then try and prove it with fake evidence. I think that's really, really scary. But I think that's just one of the biggest things for me that I thought was just so
It's scary.
I had to respect it from Bemi's
100%,
perspective,
100%.
just being able to kind of clear her name and stuff like that. It's not to say that she probably hasn't provided bad customer service or someone hasn't had the best experience. I can't say whether that's true or not. But it is just really, really important for businesses to just make sure that they cover their back, but also have that proper chain of communication with
100%. 100%.
I think it's just telling that social media can be very convincing. And whoever gets out there first can tell their story, and that can be it. And that can change everything from everyone's perspective. And I feel like, yes, it's really good to have receipts, but at the same time, she did say something. I think, is her name Bemi? She did say something around how she didn't want to say anything. She wanted to keep silent. And I get that from a business perspective, that you don't want to shake the tree too much and cause too much controversy. But in times when your business is on the line and people are coming at you, you need to have the receipts. But for me, from my perspective as a viewer of this whole situation, for me, it just reminded me that you need to wait till you get all the information.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I feel like people will come online and it can be so convincing to the point where you're like, 100% what they're saying is true. How can it be a lie?
Yeah.
And point blank, they've lied to your face.
Yeah.
And for me, as I said in the last episode, like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
So I don't see the whole point of doing the whole campaign, like, don't go to that shop.
Yeah.
But once again, it's another way of saying, it's another reminder to show that, look, like, wait until all the information comes out at the very least.
Yeah.
If all the information doesn't come out, then there's still another side to the story.
Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah, I think more than anything, because I think more often than not, the full story never comes out.
Never.
Yeah.
Either way. And I do hear, if she decided that she didn't want to say anything, that's also fair. It's just because the evidence on her side was just, to clear her, it was just, it was there, it was too strong. So I understand why she spoke out. But actually, more often than not, you don't get the full story, or you don't get the other person's side.
Maybe people don't have what she had.
I mean, for one reason or another, like, some people just don't care to, give light to BS and whatever else, whatever the case may be. So rather than waiting to hear the full story, you just have to accept that, like, you can't always take things at face value, or you just have to take everything with a pinch of salt, because you just don't know what people are saying out here.
All right, next thing on the list is Power. Power Origins is coming soon, but we did get some news that Tyreek's season of Power will be coming to an end after this new season, which I am happy for.
Oh,
I'm happy for. The reason why I'm happy for the money isn't the same anymore. Yeah,
right.
He's still living off his dad's whatever he's giving him,
because he's not allowed to get the inheritance
until he graduates.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So he doesn't really have that much money. Yeah, so
he's broke.
Actually, didn't he put it into that guy's fund, and the fund was
So you're broke. You're broke. And now you are, let's say he's about what, 23, 22, 23?
I don't know, man.
And you're flying a private jet, your daddy did, you got no money, and you wait, and the police are not wondering how you're flying a private jet.
They're on his case.
But I would have I would have taken him at the port.
That lady's on his case. That what's the name? I can't remember her name.
Valdez.
Not Valdez.
That's Valdez is dead.
The one that talks like this. She's so annoying.
From the Bronx.
God.
She's from Southside Bronx.
I gotta get to Richie's room.
She
ended up saving him from the African woman, right?
What white guy?
Remember the lady was gonna kill him, and he went to the factory, and then they got her.
Yes.
Did they catch her?
They did.
Was she apprehended?
They did. Yeah, she's gone.
Okay.
And that police guy is dead as well.
Which
the white police guy. He's dead.
Yeah. A lot happened in that scene, if I'm honest.
In the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, a lot happened
in
that scene. I have to probably go back and watch that one now. But ultimately, in the trailer, they showed Tyreek in the same position as Ghost, when he was on top of the stage in the suit in the club. It looked like he was in a club.
You're joking.
They did that in the trailer. Yeah.
Really?
So, foreshadowing. Maybe he's gonna die.
Maybe it could be Tyreek's time to, and maybe when he dies, someone's gonna hand him a letter and say, "I told you, little nigga."
I told you,
maybe.
Look at you. Beg with me. But yeah, so basically, the reason why, one of the reasons why people feel like it was cancelled was because Stars basically said that it costs too much money to keep seasons going onwards, because obviously you have to pay the actors more with every season. So it's better to just do a new spin-off and just start a new series, because that way it's a lot cheaper to run, which I think is a bit of a shame. But with that being said, Power Origins is coming, and that's going to be It's a spin-off showing the life of Ghost and
James
Tommy when
and-
they were younger.
So that
Really?
was Kanan.
I'm
Kanan
gonna
will
like
be
that.
part of that too. Then.
Kanan will
Yeah.
briefly be
For
part
sure.
of that.
Yeah, for sure. So that I'm very excited about.
All right, cool. All right, next thing on the list is Northwest is set to release an album. That is definitely Kanye West's daughter, because the album is going to be called Elementary School Dropout.
Love that.
I love that, but I'm. You know what? Start where you can.
I don't love that.
Start where you can. I don't like it's a spin-off of her dad's thing. But
I don't love it. I don't rate it, and I think it's really unfortunate that I don't get to enjoy Northwest being like, you know, a cute.
A kid.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm sure she probably likes doing music, and
Yeah.
Blue Ivy is young, and she went on a tour. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing against anybody, but I feel like this is just Kanye being narcissistic
You think so?
through his daughter, because she's 10 years old. What does she know about the idea of like doing, oh, my dad's a
Can I tell you
college.
something?
So what?
What about Bow Wow? Was he rapping at that age or something like that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with her
True,
making music.
true.
I don't have a problem with her making music at all. But I feel like this idea that I'm supposed to be excited about Elementary School Dropout.
Come on.
Because
No.
for me, it's just more of a reminder that I feel like, I don't want to say Kanye is using her as a tool. That's definitely his child. Do you know what I mean? But
I think we might need to look at it from a different lens, you know, because
Are you talking about the perspective of start them young, let them make some money?
No, not even that. Like
growth
at the end of the
and-
day, like we need to also understand that her life is completely different to the
Average person.
the average,
Yeah,
the average
totally
child.
agree.
which
So she
means-
has the freedom to do anything.
No, well, yes, she has the freedom to do everything. She's exposed to everything at such a young age. Your dad is a rapper, so like a lot of people that, for example, if her dad was a basketball player, like LeBron's kids, you naturally gravitate towards your dad, whatever your dad is doing. So if she's always seen her dad and she sees her dad as someone that is cool, and everyone's telling you that your dad is an icon because he is an icon in regards to music and fashion, and you've seen what he's doing, you're naturally going to see this over and over again and somewhat feel like, okay, let me try this. If she tries it and it bangs, cool. If it doesn't, she's got so many other avenues. So at the end of the day, I get what you're saying, but this goes back to what you was even saying about Bow Wow. Like, I haven't seen a young artist like Bow Wow. Actually, since Bow Wow, I haven't seen no artist that young doing music in a very long time.
But let me be honest. When Lil Bow Wow was rapping, I don't know if he was 10 years old at the time. Maybe
was
around
quite
that
young.
age.
That guy
he
was
was very,
a
very
baby.
young. But he was rapping his little ass off. Okay, he could actually rap for real, for real.
But okay,
True.
let's remember that this day and age, we're not even talking. No one really cares
It's not
about if you
talent.
can rap
Yeah.
or not. And at
Yeah.
the same
fair.
time, she had the best song on his album.
Yes.
So I mean, we're not gonna sit here at like she's like. I'm not gonna say that she's gonna come out and be the most amazing artist.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna say that.
astronomical.
I'm
It's
not gonna
not
say that.
that.
I'm not seeing her saying I'm anticipating her album at all. I don't care about that. The part that I love is just the fact that she's doing something that her dad loves.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like the same name, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. It's like follow the path.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I feel at the same time, like, okay, she had the best song on her dad's
Yeah.
album. Maybe he can produce it, change it. She doesn't have to have the greatest voice. She doesn't have the greatest bars.
Yeah.
But Kanye can make music. So if
Yeah.
her dad, as producer of that album, there's potential
long.
based on that song.
Yeah, okay. I want to be clear that like I'm not even remotely concerned about what the music sounds
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
because I'm sure she'll be fine regardless. Do you know what I mean?
Or it'll be terrible. Either
Yeah,
way, she's good.
either
Yeah.
way, it's whatever. It's not that, and it's also not the fact that she's young.
Okay.
Because also Jaden Smith, when he did Karate Kid,
Yeah,
like he was
fair.
like 3 years old.
Yeah, but Karate Kid, acting, and
No,
doing
no, no.
music.
It's
No,
all
it's
across.
all-
No.
no, even like
It's
the
all
pursuit,
across.
the pursuit of happiness, like they started young. I have no problem with them being young.
Okay.
I have no problem with them being young. My concern is that she's young. It's not like she's like this natural. Just let me land. She's young. It's not like she's a natural talent. Do you know what I mean? She wants to do something because her dad's doing it. She wants to be. Do you know what I mean? Why is her thing called Elementary School Dropout? It just looks like it's just an extension of whatever Kanye.
Yeah.
It just looks like it's an extension of whatever Kanye's doing. Like when Jaden Smith was young and he did Karate Kid, that's just off his own. It's him making his own lane. Willow Smith, when she did Wet My Hair, it's her own lane.
So what,
Okay.
you're talking about
it does-
nepotism?
Not
Or
about
just that- it's just that it
nepotism.
just seems like it's a clone.
It feels narcissistic. It doesn't feel as nice as Willow Smith and Jaden Smith and
Yeah.
Blue Ivy felt. It feels like,
I think you shouldn't compare it.
Copy and paste.
let me just get my shit off.
No,
VR.
no.
Sorry.
I think, yeah, you can look at it that way, and obviously, yeah, each to their own.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of, yes, we also understand how Kanye West is as a person, but I'm looking at it from her perspective. I'm not looking at it from Kanye's perspective, because at the end of the day, the girl can say no, she doesn't want to do it. Like, Kanye isn't, I hope so, isn't forcing her, yeah, you got to do this.
Yeah.
Like, she has some sort of interest in this, and that's what I'm going based off.
And let's clear the conversation before anyone tries to say something on the lines of, oh yeah, but it's a great business decision. We get, okay, yeah, we know it's money that she's got to make.
100%.
All that good stuff. She's a kid, she's going to have money in the future. Yeah, whatever. But we're talking about the actual art now.
Yeah.
And let's keep it that way, please, before someone says something.
And I think, like, you comparing them to Jaden and all them and Willow and all of them people, like, I don't feel like you can, like, the same way Jaden, yes, well, to an extent, yes, he was acting in Pursuit of Happiness, but you got there probably because of your dad. So,
for sure. Nepotism is not the concern here.
Well,
no, nepotism is not my concern at all. You know
she's
me.
Basically just trying to say that Kanye's channeling himself through his daughter.
Her, instead of like letting her do something.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like personally Willow Smith is actually a really good example.
But
she was like 9 years old when she did Whip My Hair, and can you imagine if she came out with an album and Will Smith made her call it the Fresh Princess of Bel-Air? I'd be like, can you let this girl rest, for God's sake? Like, what? This is narcissistic.
No,
Okay.
well, yeah, I get it, and yeah, like, obviously we're not in the studio, we're not with Kanye West while this is all happening. So
I'm not going to say
yeah.
she thought about that name.
But
if she
no,
did, amazing,
no, she probably did. No, but the thing is, yeah, you never know.
Hey, Dad,
you never know.
Elementary school dropout. Okay.
I was going through your archives, and actually,
no. But the thing is, at the same time, like, you don't know these things. Like, this is why you can't be so biased to like what's going on right now, because at the end of the day, you don't know how much she knows of her dad. Like,
listen, I want to be clear. I don't know anything about anything, right? All I'm giving is my opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, using Willow Smith is actually a very, very good example.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when I look at this Northwest situation, and of course the context that we have about Kanye and like what he's been doing, how he's been acting recently, it doesn't feel as nice and warm and fuzzy as I want it to. Maybe if this was like in the era of like maybe before 808 and Heartbreaks, like if it was around that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy time and a similar situation happened, maybe I wouldn't view it in the way I would now. Even then I probably would, but especially right now with how he's acting, and it just does not feel like authentic is not the word. What it just feels like is, it just feels like this is for him. It's not actually for her.
Okay.
all right.
And I find that weird.
Okay, so next thing on the list is Matches Fashion. So, if you guys have been listening to the news, the demise of, well, I can't even say the demise. Matches Fashion has been buried alive. What has happened, unfortunately, is Matches Fashion has gone into what's it called, administration.
Yes, sir.
Which is so unfortunate, because Matches Fashion is one of those how can I say, e-commerce, because obviously it does have brick and mortar as well, but one of those e-commerce sites that, I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the best e-commerce sites that I've seen in a very long time. With all, no, and I mean,
big statement.
No,
in terms of what they stock,
in regards to a brand that holds a variety of luxury brands. If you're talking about single e-commerce stores like Gucci and all those type of stuff, of course they've got great stuff.
Yeah, that's different.
I'm talking Senescence and Sense.
No,
I call it Senescence.
Do you know what? I prefer Matches Fashion more than that place is a bit.
If Senescence is shipped to the UK without all those charges, I'll be shopping at Sense.
Oh no, 100%. No, but they do. It's returning is the problem.
Yeah, so
return is the problem.
If I had none of those issues, but that's the thing. Tagging on to what you're saying, Matches Fashion specifically was very good because of their customer service. So it was free shipping and returns at one point. Yeah, it was
speedy shipping. If you lived in London, you could get it in the day.
Same day. Yeah. The packaging was really stunning.
Gorgeous.
And customer service was always 10/10. So from that point of view, they were one of the best for sure.
Yeah, but they had some great brands as well, man.
Yes, like, they did. They had a good selection.
The Loewe, the Rick Owens,
which contributed to their downfall.
Yeah, no. But wait, if you think about it, if you go onto that website on the right day and you call your plug Rick Owens strobes as possible,
right?
But they also had some Pradas and all the Bottegas and all those type of stuff.
The thing that's really unfortunate about Matches Fashion is that when they started, and we were watching a video this morning actually, it was a really good breakdown.
Was you watching it? Or was it just
I was
me?
listening to yours. So basically, it was very interesting. I actually watched it a few days ago. I just didn't finish it. Thank you.
But you
So
didn't
anyway,
watch it then.
Matches Fashion, please, let's give the lowdown. They've gone into administration, but one of the reasons why the downfall happened the way that it did was because, like Michael said, they did have a few physical stores, and a lot of the reason why people liked them so much pre-COVID was because of
the community aspect of the brand.
community aspect. It was kind of like when you go into Soho, you kind of see like the who's in fashion and stuff like that. It was very similar for if you go into a Matches Fashion store, you'd see the who's. It was like, again, they would stock brands that other websites weren't necessarily stocking.
Yep.
There were a lot of brand exclusives in Matches Fashion.
And
For specific stores, actually.
for specific stores, that was a big,
really?
that was a big unique selling point.
Eye-opening thing for me that each
I didn't
store
know
had
it's
different
store
brands and it was
specific.
curated for that specific area.
Yeah.
So based on demand of what people like in that area, they will
That's
put
what they
specific
would
brands there and they'll
stock.
only stock there.
Yeah.
So see, that's really
So
unfortunate.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, so
That's really unfortunate.
so listening to the video that Toby sent me is that the downfall happened.
it was you that sent it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Toby that sent it to me. The downfall happened when they then went to go and get the IPO, where they were now getting more capital for the business.
Yep.
Now, what the girl was saying, because she articulated it so well, is that when you get to the point where you're now going for an IPO, you're going for the money and the valuation of the business, because the higher they value your business, obviously the more money the owner makes. But the one thing he did say is that as they're taking on the company, they need to ensure that they keep the following things, which is like the community aspects of it, the diversity in the brands, also the brick and mortar stores as well, and also having that diversity in the brands, because it creates that community for Matches Fashion and also helps the brand as well. And then also bringing the different people into the store. So obviously, like for example, if we were to go into the store and we saw whoever it was, it's a nice feeling knowing that you're rubbing shoulders with these people. But once they were bought out, and whichever business bought the brand,
Venture capitalist. I think it was. I can't remember the name.
Yes, but once they bought Matches Fashion, obviously what the girl was saying, once you're bought for an IPO, it's a situation now where the main focus is growth and money. Everything else gets pushed to the side. And that's what happened to Matches Fashion, where that was impacted significantly. And all the unique selling points that business had at one point that was obviously making it thrive now started to stop. And as that started to stop, it started to hinder the brand, and obviously with all the different other issues that were happening around the world, such as luxury brands not being purchased as much, obviously because we're in an economic crisis, all that types, that all doubled down on it. And then obviously now they're in debt, and now they've gone into administration.
Correct.
Which is,
just to say, they didn't do an IPO.
Oh, they didn't?
They were just bought by a venture capitalist business,
Okay.
and they were called Apex, I believe, was their name. So yeah, essentially, basically what you said. Once a venture capitalist company wants to buy you, essentially the main thing for them is about growth and profitability. And their valuation at the time when they were sold, they said was
800 to 1 billion.
800 to 1 billion, which is huge. And their expectation and return from that would be significantly more. I think it's like over like 5x, 10x of what they originally were valued. So that was the aim of the venture capitalist company. And the owner did say, you have to keep the heart of what makes the company for it to be able to stick around. Obviously they completely ignored that, said, okay, nice, good, thank you. Went on with it, and they went full throttle on the online website, the growth of the online website, which is really good. I mean, it did well.
Oh, it did very well.
But it lost the heart, and ultimately, as they were trying to grow the website, people started to go to other brands, and then she was talking about how the own brands themselves, the Gucci's and
got their own stores
Bottegas
now.
went back into doing more e-commerce, and it was like they didn't need the matches anymore. And obviously they just got into stupid amounts of debt. Like
and the sad thing is
then Fraser Group came in.
Fraser Group came in, and you know when Fraser Group comes in, it's all long now. You know that place ain't gonna be for shit.
You know what's crazy about Fraser Group? You know there's like 10 websites online here that are basically all owned by Fraser Group that look exactly the same.
100%.
Share the same stock and everything.
Flannel, Sports
House of
Direct, all
Fraser,
of them, all got the same
mad.
stock.
Debenhams, all of them.
But do you know what? There's one thing that this has reminded me about, which is so important when it comes to businesses, is that there's this conversation about when a business loses like its CEO and the people that actually built the business. That's when, for certain businesses, the business starts to go down a downhill spiral.
Look at Supreme.
Basically, if you don't have the right CEOs and the right people in place that understand, for example, like you said, the heart of the business, and understand what makes the business tick, and understand the unique selling point
The niche
of the business,
of the
niche of the business, if they do not take that on as a CEO or owner of the brand is going to fall.
Yeah.
Because that is what started the brand, and that is what is enabling the brand to grow. And I think a lot of businesses forget that, such as like Supreme. It doesn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a very important thing. But like you said, when a venture capitalist comes in to buy a business, their focus is growth and money. And if they don't put the right people in place, boy, it go down.
I think one thing that this woman said, I'll try and tag her in the video as well. I'll get the name down and put it in the caption. One of the things that she said that I thought was so interesting, when we're talking about Matches fashion, I think one of the main things outside of obviously the brands that they stock was the community aspect. And obviously from when they lost that, we knew it was going downhill. But she said that one of the best things that they could have done was turned it into like making them a massive sample sale, a massive face within the sample sale industry. And I think so much could have been done around that. Like when I think of Matches, outside of the fact that we actually like shop there, I think of their sample sales. Even before I started shopping at Matches, that I went to the sample sales all the time. So it's really unfortunate. And hopefully it's not too late to pivot into something that makes sense. But
there's still a chance.
There's still a chance, but they're still up and running. It's very unfortunate what happened to the staff. That was very wild and crazy.
Yeah,
awful.
Unprecedented, and no one would have expected that from any brand. But yeah, there's still time for them to pivot, and I would want to see Matches stay. I would want to still see it still right. I wouldn't want to see it close up shop like that. That would be crazy. But you know, that's just business. The person's name is Ugo. UGO. So
Ugo, of course.
Ugo Beauty Commentary, and her TikTok is @base&beauty.
There you go.
No. Yeah, I think even as we said this, I don't want Matches fashion to go.
I really do enjoy Matches.
It'll be unfortunate.
It really will. All right, next thing on the list is TikTok. TikTok will potentially be banning US.
What? I'll way around.
By the way.
The US will be banning TikTok.
Yes.
Oh, that's it then. Sorry, TikTok. But yeah, I haven't read anything about this. This is my first time hearing about this. I didn't know that the US wanted to ban TikTok. I thought TikTok would have been blowing in the US.
It's for a very political reason.
Yes. So the US are basically passing a law whereby it's the way that they framed it, I can't remember it verbatim, but it's like foreign-owned entities. Whatever. Basically what it means is that they don't want any businesses that aren't US-owned or that are based outside, aka China, to have access to the data, because naturally if all of the users are providing their data to a company that's Chinese owned, it's owned by a Chinese CEO, they have access to millions and millions of data. So that's their way of basically trying to protect yada yada.
It's such an American thing. I can't lie.
Do you know what?
No, the thing is, this is, if anyone's watching this from the US, you will see. I'm not sure if anyone's actually seen this video, but there's a video that came out of I feel like it was a foreign minister from China talking to someone in the UK. And this is why I'm going to set this out, because it cancels the UK out. And he basically said that the UK is not a competition. So let's put that out there. Now, US and China have this thing here where it's like they want world domination. I don't get it, but they really want world domination. The US hates China. China, I don't think hates US. They just don't like what they do to them. They don't have the time. It's like, look, you're a little kid. Like, relax. Like, they're trying to sun the US, and the US is such a nation where they're like, you can never sun me. But that's the kind of people that they are.
Do you know what? But you can't.
You can.
Do you know the reason why? Do you know the reason why you can't sun the US?
Okay.
The US have. They do. They have the biggest businesses in the world.
Can I tell you how they can easily sun the US? Well, if every other nation based that bricks. Don't say every single. We're doing China and just the US. China could definitely sun the US. I could tell you that for sure.
Because when you look at these
world powers, or
not world powers, but okay, let's just say these regions or wherever it is, these countries or wherever it is, You go based off how powerful their businesses are, because ultimately when it comes to these type of countries, it's their businesses that really run the country at the end of the day.
For sure.
So when you look at China and you look at the US, the US have the biggest businesses in the world, which means they ultimately have the power. They have the technology. Not saying that China doesn't have the technology, but they've got. They definitely have that. But when it comes to businesses and the amount of control that they have, we're talking about Microsoft, we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, we're talking about AI companies, we're talking about Tesla, we're talking about
which China has alternatives for. In batches.
In batches, but they're not as strong as these are.
So they're not as well known for sure, and the US basically has a lot of things in place to prevent them from going to other districts for sure.
I just found.
But I will say one thing is that a lot of US residents use a lot of stuff from China.
They rely on China.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying in my head.
Exactly. Producing stuff in America is very, very expensive. If they're going to bring it all in house, I know that's one thing that America would love to do again.
They can't do that.
Produce everything in America. You know it's going to be crazy expensive.
And they know that they can't.
All your people buy stuff from China. I mean,
true.
We're in the UK. Look how big Temu is, or Temu, or whatever you want to call it. China is so huge. It's crazy.
Have they found that guy from...
I don't think Temu is Chinese. I think it's South Korean. But the region as a whole is nuts.
Have they found the guy from Alibaba yet?
I completely forgot about that one, man. I don't know for him, man.
Oh yeah, check
he just went missing one day. Anyway,
that was Chinese. That was China's fault, I think.
Oh, it was in-house.
Yeah, I was in-house.
I think the thing about America,
they got that clan in it. What's that clan? They hear it.
I don't know.
Communism.
No. What's that clan?
It's not China. It's Japan.
Oh, it's Japan. Okay.
It's Japan. Oh, the Yakuza.
Yeah, man. You know those people.
Wrong nation.
Yeah, man. They just
Wrong
fight
nation.
them.
Don't make it
Wrong
racist.
nation, but no, they're everywhere.
No, they're not. They're actually based in Japan. What I was gonna say is that the US and the UK, the US and the UK, I just think they're just so moist. Oh, look,
big time.
They're just so moist. It's
time.
just because they're part of the West, and it's like one of those things. You know, when you look at history books, and it's like the way that they tell the story is just so different from the reality of the matter.
It's basically what Felicia did. Pause. Sorry.
No, you don't need to pause. You don't need to pause. This is exactly what happened.
What's the? I can't remember the term. Yeah, when
nostalgia.
No. When you've got like an overinflated view of yourself.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
yeah.
And in them, the grand. Anyway, it's grand delusion. Look, they have a complete warped view of who they are, and in their mind, like how big of a power they are. And I genuinely believe, for the simple fact that they are from the West, and between colonialization, did I say that right?
Yeah.
And like all the other stuff that happened in the past that gave them that
they're
power.
Still resting on that.
They're running the media. We have no reason to see it any other way. But how come every other decent country that's had any form of conflict, the first thing that they'll do is look at the US and be like, this place is fucked.
Yeah.
Because it is.
But they use a lot of intimidation tactics. They intimidate.
That's
they
it.
come to a country, they destroy it, completely bury it or put it down to rubble.
Yep.
And then they'll use that as intimidation tactics and be like, look,
100%.
like, this is what we can do, so try us and do. But I'm just saying, China's the wrong one,
bro. China's so good, and they know that they can't do anything. So it's just
a bunch of people.
It's noise to me. Yeah, exactly. So what do you want to do?
About to set off a nuclear bomb.
I might need to go to the UAE, man.
To do what exactly?
I know there's peace and quiet there.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah,
okay, look how many people locked up.
No. But why are they locked up?
They're idiots, man. I can't.
Why are they locked up?
Bringing snus to the country.
Anyway,
let's move on.
Next thing on the list is Love Is Blind.
Daily Blind, man.
Love Is Blind. So we watched the reunion of Love Is Blind, and Love Is Truly Blind, guys. It is truly blind. Everyone on that show, I'm not gonna lie to you, they'll actually. This is my review. A lot of the people, I don't know what happened there, but a lot of the people on that show,
silent.
Sorry. Hello.
She wanted to marry her.
A lot of people on that. I think that show now, this season or this reunion, they used it as a way for them to try to correct the brand's look at the moment. Because what I was hearing on there, this is what I was basically hearing, because a lot of that was all staged.
It wasn't staged.
Let me tell you the reason why it felt staged. Is because when I heard the presenter, the guy, when it was like, look, we want everyone to be aware that, look, this is a proper show, that people are actually coming here to find love and all these different things. Look, no one really believes in Love Is Blind, okay?
No.
A lot of people go into that show And this is what I'm seeing right now based off what he said. People are coming onto that show to build a brand to make themselves look a certain type of way. That hunchback of Notre Dame looking guy with the glasses. No. The guy that was saying that he what's the AD
Matthew,
yeah, and he's like, I don't want to look any type of way.
Yeah, in front of America.
But your dad was a great man, and I appreciate your
and she
dad.
was like, my dad is dead.
That guy can kill.
That guy can actually kill. And you can see in his face.
He's 100% the antagonist of every single horror movie where it starts with them saying no to a drink and then all of a sudden he's in your house.
He's fully Jigsaw.
He's one of them, for sure.
I'll tell you one thing about Love is Blind, yeah, it's like any other reality TV show. Is once the first few seasons are done, it's purely just entertainment after that. It's not the actual roots of what the show has completely gone, because everyone can see what you can get from it.
Exactly.
And same thing happened with Big Brother. I think that really happened because they started bringing too many rules.
The same thing happened with Love Island. And this is the thing with those type of shows. This is why after a certain amount of time I can't watch it, because the authenticity of it
is gone. That's fair.
But it's entertainment value, because I can't lie. This was the most entertaining. This was the most entertaining series of Love is Blind.
Yes.
It was sensational. Yes. It was 10 out of 10.
Absolutely the most entertaining season
10 out of 10.
for sure. Especially because only one couple got married.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Everyone
it just goes to show you, seriously, really, really bad.
All I'm gonna say is that guy that was with that woman that was so insecure, he was a shell of himself throughout the whole show.
I think they're still together, actually.
I feel like either that woman has a doll of that guy sitting in her room because she's controlling him.
I'll be real, yeah. For anyone that watched that, I'm looking at you, my lady, because she kept on saying that, she was being gaslighted. And
Who was being gaslighted?
I was saying she was the one that was gaslighting. She was so bad.
No, she wasn't. Let me tell you, yeah, how she views herself. If I was to do a scoring, is minus 100.
Yes,
she does not value herself
because of her experiences. Because of her experiences, fair. She was married before, and I believe she got cheated on in that marriage too. From what I understand, that's what happened to her. Now,
I feel bad.
Her insecurities
I don't think she was cheated on.
I think that's why they broke. That's why she's not married anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why.
I thought it was because she was young,
or maybe because she probably said she was Megan Fox. Who knows? But ultimately, I just want to understand how that was allowed to continue going on, because she at every single moment, like,
she was gaslighting.
There was a problem. Like, you know how much of a headache that is.
Yeah.
And I was so happy for Jimmy. I was so happy for Jimmy when he had that conversation with her. I told you know what? You're right. You're clapped.
Yeah.
Because he felt it. He felt it when those doors opened at the first time. He was like, you ain't Megan Fox.
Did you not see how she was waddling? Look, let me tell you. Let me
side effects that was.
Look, let me tell you something, here. What he did there, and look, when someone talks, listen to what they're saying, because there's truth in their words.
He was saying a lot, man.
When he said, "AD, you're back here," is mad. It's mad.
He said that's fuckalicious.
And the thing is, AD was playing with it. I don't like what I have on there, but I like that.
Ass is nuts.
Again, Tobi.
A booty go crazy.
No.
He tried to whisper it. Just say, yeah, that ass.
He saw
she's
that and said,
uncomfortable.
I could sit a cup in that booty.
Yeah, 100%.
I wanted to.
And he said, yes, you can.
AD all day. God damn. I'm going to do a whistle. Yeah, right. That's what I was just about to say. Please. AD, it's very unfortunate.
Yes.
Yeah. But
her makeup was terrible on that night.
It's okay.
That shit cracked.
One thing about AD that I will say, yeah, it's unfortunate. She is a bird. She's a bird. She's a bird.
What do you mean she's
a bird? She's like, I feel like everything that she has done in this process has just been to appease a man. A man specifically.
She's a fixer-upper.
Whether she's a fixer-upper, she likes being desired, to the point of like,
there's nothing else.
Like, hello, how can you be walking down the aisle and the guy say, okay, body? She said, you see the material.
That was crazy, dog.
As a people, where have we gone wrong? Every 3 seconds, Clay's like, I really don't want to cheat. Whatever you do, I'm good. I'm here for you. I love you. I told you before I got you. I'm going to say it again and again and again. You need me? There's nothing you could have said that would change my answer. And honestly, then even after that now, I've seen that she's gone into podcasts. And basically she's saying on podcasts like, oh yeah, we're flirty friends. We still talk. So you've gone from being engaged to not being married, getting left at the altar, and now you're in a situationship. AD.
Crazy dog.
AD.
Crazy dog.
Stand up, AD. What do you think about Clay though?
I feel like Clay
He won me
has-
over.
He won you over.
He won me over.
That thing, what he did at the reunion, really like solidified that. Okay, hands up.
Yeah, he won me over.
He ain't
I
a bad
can't
guy.
lie.
He's
I
not a
can't
bad
lie.
guy. I don't think he was a bad guy at all throughout the whole series, if I'm honest. But I just felt like, once again, like you said, I feel like he was saying a lot very, very calmly, but it was very loud at the same time.
Yes, it was very much like, I don't want to get married. I
Exactly.
don't want to get married. I'm not
But
ready yet.
For me, what he said at the altar, and it still spins me till this point, because I'm not too sure whether it's manipulation by the producers or whether it was just that was complete crap. Because for that to have come out at the altar and he was basically talking about her financial situation, I never saw that once.
Yeah.
And for me personally, if I saw that during the series, it would have made a bit more sense as to
Yeah.
why he didn't do that.
Yeah.
For me personally, nothing came out about the cheating at that altar. Not
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
nothing.
No, he was scared about cheating.
Oh, yeah.
He was scared about following the footsteps of his father.
Yeah.
You know? And that was his main fear. I'm scared. But yeah, we sitting there eating breakfast, about to eat an egg.
How's
You know,
your egg? I just don't want to cheat. You know,
on
my
you,
dad
know?
used to take me on his cheating
You know,
trips.
I used to have eggs whenever my dad was cheating, and
and you know what? That's actually really sad because the mum found out for the first time that that's what he used to do. Live on
which
the
is
show.
absolutely wild.
Her husband.
That husband used to take
Yeah.
him on a cheating trips.
Oh, mate, let me tell you something right now, yeah? Let me tell you something about Clay. Clay was inside himself throughout the whole show.
On
I
the
can see
reunion,
it. Even
He was
throughout
really
the whole
he was
show.
absent at random moments, like-
In the reunion,
I think he was on Ket.
No,
Yo, for real, 'cause
in the
his eyes were
reunion,
open,
in the
but
reunion,
he was
yes.
absent.
In the reunion, I could see that there was no one inside that
the
body.
lights were on, but no one was home.
He'll be like this. He'll be like this. They'll talk. No, when AD said that she went to dinner with that guy, the other guy, yeah, and they were like, "Oh, how do you feel, Clay?" Clay will be like this.
Yeah, literally, he will walk out of his body and he'll go on some excursion. His body will be there. He'll come back and he'll be like, "Oh,
And then he'll be like, AD did tell me about that. Yeah, she told me about that. I'm seeking therapy.
I was like, this is a big problem.
And the thing is, this is why I'm saying this shit is all staged, because if that was me, I'm hearing every single thing, and I would have been like, "Yeah, she told me, but dumbass bitch."
But you know what that tells me? What that tells me is that AD is a bird. Yeah, and it tells me that Clay is kind of sick of her shit. And also,
think so.
and I think it also is like, you know, for example, yeah, you really, okay, I don't know, maybe you guys have dealt with this before, you dirty dogs, where you're seeing a girl, you really like her, and then you get her and she's just talking bare.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, actually, you're a bit of a bird.
Yeah.
Maybe I should take a step back.
Yeah.
What that scenario is where I feel like Clay was at by the time of the reunion, because even when she was like, "Oh yeah, wait till you see my reunion dress, it's gonna knock him out the park. He's gonna feel so bad that he played
man.
me." Clay's just there like, "Child, okay."
Shall I
Man,
tell
I
you
don't
what's
have
fun
time
me
for you,
though?
man.
Shall I tell you what's fun me? How long they are in those pods for? Like that conversation which they brought up here, where they were trying to find out when they were showing when that guy was doing the thing.
Yeah.
When they're in a
An
room for
hour and a half.
hour and a half, 2 and a
Long
half
time,
hours.
lad.
I said, "Excuse me."
You got to spend
Long
as much
time.
time as you can talking.
What? 20
You have to.
minutes. All right, I'm a holler at
Like,
you now.
I understand why he got up and walked out in some of those
Yeah,
scenes. He'll be
man,
like,
I'm
okay,
bored.
this
It's
for
too
2
much.
hours.
It's way too much. Way too
2
much.
hours?
What do you like? AD all day. Killer J, man. Let's
So-
move on.
All right, next thing on the list is Don Toliver and what's that girl's name?
Kali.
Uchis.
Yep, they got a baby.
Congratulations.
Well done to them. Next thing on the list.
Oh, come on, man. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, I said well done to them.
right.
Next thing on the list is AJ5 Black Cats. They're coming out in December.
I
What's your
don't even know
thoughts?
why this came up. What the heck?
No, do you know
Michael
what?
wanted to talk about it.
I'm not mad at them.
Go and sit down, man. Let's move on. Music.
Can I just ask, because the last time, 2 times ago, I said
2 times ago.
two times ago, I was like, we don't care about Jordans, innit? And you man were like, yeah. And then the last time you were like, yeah, I like Jordans now. I really like Jordans. I'm excited for Jordans.
I'm talking about a specific Jordan.
That's it. I'm not one of those that's running for all the kitty cat.
Okay, about the trophy.
It looks like you're running for
This
this
is a
black
bit-
cat.
That's a black cat.
The Kit Kat, black cat might be good, but it's a rubbish shoe. Don't get that shoe.
No, mate, Toby, Toby. Let me tell you something. Yeah? No, do you know what? No, that's fine. You can do this all the time because every single time that you said this year, the next episode,
Yeah, you folded.
No, black cat.
I gave
And
it.
the thing is, it actually doesn't even matter whether it's a black cat or what.
Man.
Military blue, when it comes out, I like that shoe.
This is Toby. Well, so randomly, I forgot that I had put myself in for a raffle, and you know what happens? It just comes.
So this one, close your eyes. I'm going to bring out the box. You know?
And that's his
I've got
whole
a new
look at it.
purchase.
And you be feeling it.
I've
This
got
is
a new
a black
purchase.
cat fight.
I'm surprised we don't
Rubbish.
have the trophy rooms here today.
Anyway, Anyway, no.
they're
What,
not.
the trophy room, what?
Those
Jay
are
Rooms.
claps, man. I can't lie.
Are they out
one
there?
cares.
They're coming out next week.
Next week.
No one cares. The only trainer I'm really waiting for right now is the Jordan 2 Fusions. Those are the ones.
The Plum Dunks are coming out this week, though.
I don't care.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? The Air Max DNs.
Oh, get out.
Sorry, I've seen a couple colours that I kind of like.
The Air Max what?
DN.
The new ones.
The new ones.
The new
Oh,
ones.
the one with the zip in the front.
No, those are the Sunders.
The Sunders. Those are
Okay,
coming out
that's
long,
the only
long.
one I care about.
But no, the DNs are the ones that Nike has been doing a whole campaign for.
Don't care. I haven't seen them.
You have the one that Supreme recently did a collaboration on.
I'll tell you
with the
something though.
bubbles.
An all
The
black
Supreme
pair,
one is
an all black
sexy.
pair will look quite nice.
Yeah, there's one that's black with like pink bubbles. That one is sexy.
I don't know about
Really?
the pink bubbles, but
Right.
an all black pair will look quite nice.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
move
here
on.
for it.
Nice, try it.
Shall we move on?
See how it
Yeah.
goes.
Next thing on the list is Wizkid. So Wizkid has released that he will be releasing a new album called Mariah. And on top of that, he then had a little rant. The rant was not needed. I don't know whether the loud was so loud that it now put you in a different metaverse where you thought people were attacking you.
Sorry.
But he was basically saying that he's not Afrobeats artist. You're an Afrobeats artist.
Okay.
He then said that
He was like, if you like Paco Ramon, don't download
don't
this
down.
album.
the thing is, I'm not gonna lie. I think to a lot of us WizKid fans, we have accepted, except for one person in this room, Kesi, we've all accepted that he has evolved since Pakramo.
Kidding what? Who told you I haven't accepted that?
I don't think you have. But I'm not gonna lie. WizKid has gone through the proper evolution stages of an artist. We like where you are right now, but I'm not gonna lie. There's sometimes you can be a bit iffy. It might not work.
Can I just say, WizKid recently, he put out a statement as of 2 hours ago.
He apologized.
No.
Oh.
This is what he said. He said, you lost people. Always want someone to educate you. You've got your phone, Google research shit, take a flight and see the world. Don't be ignorant and stupid all the time. Listen, am I African? Yes. But I do make all sorts of music. Fine music. But I don't want these labels. What?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want to be
these
put in a
labeled.
box. He doesn't want to be put in a box.
I think he meant I don't want to be labeled just Afrobeats. That's like saying every American artist makes rap. Fair? That's stupid. This is why no matter how good or amazing the music we make, be it R&B or whatever other genre, we all get nominated in one Africa category.
I hear it.
Or the other. I made genres of music. Made in Lagos is not an Afrobeats album. All right, it's not an Afrobeats album. That's a fusion of different sounds, real music.
Fair.
The word Afrobeats was made up by y'all to put all we make into one box.
I hear it.
Bella created Afrobeat. I make all sorts of music, fusion of sounds. I'm an artiste before anything else. True to my art, not scared to try shit. Now y'all drink some milk.
I'm hearing a few different things here, and I'm going to quickly list them off. Number one, it sounds like he wants to be nominated for a different category at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Number two, it sounds like he is having a Kanye moment. By all means, I feel like everyone has one.
Don't do that.
Everyone
to
can
him,
have one or two
man.
of those.
Don't
I'm just
do that
saying.
to him.
Everyone can have 1 or 2 days in their career. Feel free. Number three, I will just say that he's very right. He can be put into a box because everyone will just categorize him as being from Nigeria and Africa, and that he's an Afrobeats artist. It's not fair.
Fair.
Fine. I do feel like at the same time, just drop your music and let people decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Like if you have to do all of this before you drop the music, it's like. This guy came out left field out of nowhere. It's basically like you go to someone and say good morning. They say shut the fuck up, nigga. It's like what did I do to you?
But wait.
Where did this come from?
Let me ask you guys a question. Is okay? So imagine there's a rapper from Nigeria. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would he be put in a rapping category or Afrobeats category?
Afrobeats straight away.
It would be Afrobeats.
Okay.
But yes.
So what he's saying is 100%
Straight
valid
away.
because
And you
that
can
be
clearly
the
tell.
case.
Look at all the alternative artists in Nigeria. They're all categorized as
in Afrobeats. Yeah, that's
unless
not nice.
unless it's like
That's not nice.
it's like Alte. I mean, we call it Alte
That's
now.
still
but
Afrobeats.
It will still classify as
he's
Alte.
right. He's
For example,
right.
the fact that what's her name? Amare can be put in the same category as Wizkid for me doesn't really make much sense. She's
Yes.
more of like a
Alte.
Afro pop fusion.
Yeah.
Alte.
Yes, very Alte. Well, that's the thing. It's not a separate
Alte.
category. So
Yeah.
for me, it looks like a push to get nominated for a different Grammy.
I don't think it's a push. I think what he's saying is 100% right.
He hasn't released anything. We don't even know what you're trying to release.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, okay, what's his name? He counts as Afrobeat.
That's like you telling us that you're gonna wear something and be like, "Little," but before I try it on you guys might think it's ugly. Don't tell us what we should be thinking. At least let us think about it first.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
Odumor Black.
Yeah.
Odumodu.
Yeah,
if you got to do.
Yeah. What category would you put him? Afrobeats as well.
He's
But is he
Afrobeats,
not
bro.
is he not a rapper?
Yeah.
He's an Afrobeats rapper.
No,
And
but
that's the issue.
this
That's
is the
that you're trying to
issue.
say, though.
So here's where I'm at, right? Okay.
Because you're going based. Sorry, you're going based off the fact that he's African, and that's why you're putting him in that group. But he's an African space rapper, so should he not be in the rapping category? Should he not be in hip hop?
I guess so. Then why were you so hesitant to say that?
All right. So here's where I'm at. Yeah, I feel like music categories are generally super general. Do you know what I mean? We cannot be broad because otherwise we can't be specific because otherwise. Oh, you still thinking about how nervous you were? Because how long will the award ceremony be if we have 72 categories? Or hip hop, Afro hip hop,
It's fair.
Afro rap,
I
Afro
hear
fusion.
it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Hold on. What Wizkid is saying is not wrong. Tyler the Creator had the exact same problem.
Yeah, it's true.
When he came out with Igor and he was like, "Why is this being nominated in the rap category if it wasn't rap, right?" Was it Igor or was it another album?
I don't know.
Anyway, one of Tyler the Creator's albums, he was like, "This is not a rap album, but it keeps getting put in rap because I'm a black rapper,
Yeah.
right? That like whatever." So it's not like a mad. He's not the first person to
Yeah.
say it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that. I think Wizkid, right message, wrong messenger, maybe.
Why wrong messenger? Why wrong messenger?
Because Wizkid, yeah,
God, he's an Afrobeats artist.
Wizkid. I'm all right.
You've
Do you
come
know
back
what?
to the same point.
No.
No.
Let's go to Made in Lagos together, folks.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into Made in
Don't
Lagos
play
now.
anything because they're going to shut us down, man.
No, I won't. Okay. Afrobeats has obviously evolved. We're not all going to be hearing Fela Kuti and talking drums for it to be distinguished as Afrobeats. We know that's not the case, yeah? The song Essence has an Afrobeat twang. Look, sorry, like, come on now.
I mean, what
No,
other,
but-
what
Pop
other category would you put Essence in?
Essence.
Yeah.
Essence. I would, no.
Essence could do pop, actually, tell a
No.
lie. Essence could do pop.
Essence. Yep. Could be in pop.
Okay, put it this way. If Drake One Dance can be pop, Essence can be pop.
Yeah, for sure. I don't
Yes.
disagree.
So
Fair.
it's fair.
But
Yeah,
let's
it's
go through
validated.
the others. Ginger.
I don't think we have to.
Ginger.
No, I'm just gonna
was
pick
more,
a few.
had a bit of a.
I'm picking a few to make my point. Ginger, Mighty Wine. Yeah? Okay.
What about the what's it called the
Is it dancehall?
Damon Marley? Damon
Dancehall?
Marley.
Yeah,
Damon Marley
Reckless.
is an
No,
Afro.
no,
Afro.
There's a lot of
Damon Marley.
dancehall
I think-
rough around the edges.
aspects to it.
Okay, I think to wrap it up, yeah, I feel like what Wizkid is saying, there's a larger problem there of being an artist that does more than one sound, but
Yes.
being boxed into one sound,
Yes.
which is unfortunate. But the problem is not us. The problem is not us seeing him
It's
as
the
an
award
Afrobeats
shows.
artist. The problem is that the place that you're searching for accolades wants to put you in a box.
Yeah.
That's not on us. And really, as an artist, you might have to be forced to accept that if you're not being fairly represented, for you to look at the academy and say, well, actually the problem is with you, and I have to accept that I won't be awarded correctly because they're not seeing me correctly. But that is nothing to do with us.
It's not nothing
And
to
you
do with
can't
us.
call me a
Yeah.
bad guy because you make a song, yeah, like the songs that you've been making, Ebelebe, and you want to come back and tell me that you're not an Afrobeat artist.
Can I say
How
one
are we
thing?
going to do that?
Do you think there will ever be an award? What's those people called? These
What, the
awards?
organisation?
Yeah, organizations bigger than the Grammys.
There can be if someone wants to make one.
I think it would take. I think it would take a really long time.
There needs to be one global one that makes the Grammys look like a baby, because I feel like they've just been running shit for
Like
too
the
long.
Ballon
And
d'Or of Grammys.
Yeah, but they've just been getting it wrong.
And I also feel like it's down to how you rate these things. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are the same way what we were talking about in regards to the UK and the US. Everybody looks at Grammys and they've decided that that is the pinnacle
Yeah.
of success. And if you establish that that is actually not the pinnacle of your success, and that until the Grammys is able to open up their eyes and see that there's more than just R&B, hip hop, pop, and whatever,
Yeah.
that there are other ways that you can gain those accolades for yourself, whether it's obviously, I don't want to say BET Awards or anything like that, but by you looking to Grammys to accept what you've got going on, you're devaluing what you're doing by
100%.
trying to fit yourself in what they clearly have not made a space for you.
And let's not forget, it's not us that's doing that.
It's
the
them.
artists that are going to the Grammy Award shows and
But-
expected to get an award from an organisation which you're saying doesn't back you.
Okay, well,
it's your problem, not ours.
unless you're going to boycott the Grammys to the point that they're nothing anymore, similar to what
Artists
they did.
need to do that then.
Wait, similar to what they did with what's that watch show that I wanted to go to a while ago? Baselworld. What they did to Baselworld basically just got dethroned by Watches of Wonders. But if they were to do something like that, that's the only way that's going to happen.
But that's on them to do, not us.
But wait, the Grammy at this moment in time is like, what is it like? It's like you winning the what's that football award?
Ballon d'Or.
The Ballon d'Or. Because once you get 1, 2, 3, 4, your price goes up. Yeah. It's like you getting that special certificate as part of your career that's going to enable you to get the next tax bracket. That's what it is. So you can't really do that.
The Grammys is not even a publicly showing award show. We don't sit there and get to watch that kind of stuff. That's purely for the artist. They might release it the following morning. We might comment on that. Yeah. But it's not for the fans that are listening.
But Michael's right. There is a massive difference if you say Grammy Award winning artist, producer, whatever the case may be.
To who? To me?
No, not to
anyone
us.
in that scene.
Once again, it's not us that's the problem. It's them. It's their scene.
No, but this is the thing.
We're just consumers.
But you could say that to anyone.
He said, "Fuck me, I didn't do anything. Why fuck me?"
No. But he probably isn't talking to you though.
He basically was.
No, because he put on social media.
No, he definitely was. He said, if you don't like Paco Romo, if you don't like that WizKid, then delete me. I'm not an Afrobeats artist. Don't call me an Afrobeats artist.
Like you're angry at the wrong people.
Yeah, you never know who's saying that. So.
I just wanted to quickly ask you guys a question before we move on.
Yeah.
So basically, people, when he said that he's not an Afrobeat artist, a lot of people were saying like, why do people like devaluing their thing so much? Like, you get big and all of a sudden you don't want to be seen as an Afrobeat artist. Same way with drill rappers, like they'll come out of like Funky House or these sort of that's the scene that they came through, and then they'll want to devalue it and say, I'm not that, I'm an artist.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, I think it's down to creativity of the artist, if I'm honest. An artist can wake up and not want to be doing that art. Yeah. Look at Frank Ocean. Like, you can't dictate what artists should be putting out.
It's not to say that they should keep doing the same sort of music. I mean, in the sense that they shit on where they came from.
I feel like it's very, very harsh the way they say it sometimes, for sure. Once again, they are humans. I feel like they can't be too harsh on the craft and say, look, like, F this genre. I'm not even about that genre anymore. I'm past that. I'm above that. I'm different now. You're allowed to come out and say, I want to try and do something else. Lil Yachty came and did a completely different album and wasn't for rap, and he did it and he kept on moving on. You're allowed to evolve and all that kind of stuff. I think the shitting on it part, I'm not gonna try and put that down to them saying that, like maybe it's a black people thing, or maybe they just don't care about their culture enough. Once they make it big, I'm not gonna do that argument, because that's bullshit to me sometimes. Not all the time, sometimes. I feel like in certain situations, well, I'm gonna put it down to, they just don't know how to talk about stuff sometimes. I feel like what he's trying to get out there, he's trying to say that I want to try something new, and that should be okay. I shouldn't be a situation where I'm trying something new and everyone's trying to compare it to my old stuff. I'd be like, why are you not doing that? Why are you going so left? Like, but that's what I'm saying. This is the issue from the artist's point of view. You can't come out and put out a blatant statement like that and say it the way you're saying, when generally all you're trying to say is that I'm about to put something out that's new and different. Take it as it is. It's not Afrobeats, but be okay with it, because this is what I'm feeling right now.
He should have got his PR team involved.
100%. This is the issue when people pick up their phone and just start putting stuff out there.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, like, the day and age of having a proper PR team, like, we need to also understand the way the world works at the moment is that we are
more connected.
Well, yes, but the thing is that we embrace authenticity, and that helps an artist. So if the artist is speaking from a PR perspective, you're gonna be like, okay, this person, like, you're not really in touch with us. The thing with WizKid is that he's very authentic in the way he does things, and that's why we embrace him so much. And I think, touching on what you said, because everything that you said is 100% correct. Yeah, I think it's just the artist himself. He does know how to articulate himself, and
he meant what he meant.
Or he doesn't know how to articulate himself, and he's basically saying, look, I don't need to be put in a box. What's his name? What's that what's his name? What's that guy's name? Post Malone. Post Malone was doing rap. Now he's a cowboy.
We ain't gonna talk about Post Malone, because he defrauded the system.
And he's still getting nominated in rap categories
and country.
Exactly.
That's what WizKid wants.
100%. Anyway,
do a Post Malone WizKid.
Maybe that won't work.
It's too late now. You should defraud us from the beginning.
Pray. Anyway, next thing on the list is Don Toliver, Deep in the Water, and he has an album coming soon. I was supposed to be listening to it on the way here. I didn't. So I have to.
Okay.
We could tell you.
No, but is that what was playing in the car briefly?
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked what I heard.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah. Sex in. Is it dedicated to Cali?
I think so. Yeah, he's talking about that pregnancy.
Yeah. It's a nice little song.
It's not
It's a nice
got
little song.
replay value.
At least he didn't do DDG where, yeah, anyway.
The song
Next thing
hasn't
on
got
the list.
replay value. Keep moving.
Next thing on the list is Metro Boomin and Future are about to release a double album. One is coming out on the 22nd of March. The next one's coming out on the 12th of April.
Yep.
Now, am I excited? I don't know. The reason why is because Metro Boomin as a producer,
Metro Boom, make it boom.
Metro Boomin as an artist, as a producer, I'm not gonna lie, he's like a 9 out of 10. He's great. I couldn't give him the 10 out of 10, but he's a 9 out of 10. Future, on the other hand, I don't know whether I'm gonna get the Percocet or I'm gonna get. I'm not affiliated with Bad Gang, but you know I'm cool. I don't know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
because he can go either
I'm
way.
just saying, Future, yeah, if you didn't put on your cowboy hat for this, I don't want it.
yeah, I feel you.
I don't want it.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it, and are Metro and Gunna cool?
I don't know.
Because you know Metro
Like
be
Metro
having
too
little
much.
issues. Yeah, he be having issues. with people.
He's got issues with everyone.
Anyway, I am looking forward to it. I'm gonna save my comments until I
Yeah,
see.
for sure.
Right.
I really do hope that Future put on that down
Oh no,
cowboy
100%,
hat
100%,
and the
100%,
souvenir jacket.
100%. Because Future
Souvenir
When-
jacket
when
and cowboy
when-
hat. Future is
No,
undefeated.
do you know what? I think it's not cow. I need his FBG hat on. That's what I
No,
need.
man, not
I
free
need
Bad
it.
Gang. We don't care about that.
I need
Forget the
I need-
FBG. It's the cowboy hat and the souvenir jacket.
I need the same Future in Pushing P to come into here. They need to tag team him and bring him in here.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
So now we are going to provide our recommendations. 3 songs from the 3 people of Hype and Then Some. Toby, go.
I'm going to put Odumodu Black, Minimal Fuss featuring Boj.
All right, cool.
Really enjoy that song right now.
Okay. The Cash Cobain supremacy continues. I would like to go for Cash Cobain. She knows. Well, she know. This is a classic. We all enjoy it. I'm just happy that I'm listening to it again
Great
and
song.
still enjoying it.
Great song.
Can I add 2?
No, one. You already
No,
know.
because
No.
Casey picked
You know
one
how I
of
go.
mine.
You know how I
Okay.
go.
I didn't pick the new one.
No, because why
Alright,
should there be
alright.
2? Okay, so I am going to pick Babyface Ray, Understand. Even though
Babyface
I
Ray.
wanted to put
No,
Cash
man,
Cobain.
come on. Why do you always do this?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
Right,
that.
okay, cool. Let's move into our main topic, guys. I don't even think we're going to have the time to talk about it like that.
We'll
But
try
today,
our best.
guys, we would like to talk about some stuff that we've been seeing in the news recently.
Jesus
and
said
just-
it. God said it. It's happening.
Thank you. Guys, there's been a lot happening in the church scene, so to speak. We are all practicing Christians here, so this is going to be a conversation from that perspective.
A stark for lie.
What?
It's just a play. I know it was a joke. What
kind of joke is that?
You said we're practicing Christian, and then I said something that was Muslim. Come on, it's a joke.
Yeah, but what does that mean though? Doesn't that mean like
It's like
God forbid?
Yeah.
So how can you say that when we're practicing Christians and you say it in Arabic?
Goodness sake.
What are you implying, man?
God forgive me. You know,
Alright,
I don't
anyway.
mean I'm just a humble servant.
Listen, we're going to be talking about black churches, okay? We've all experienced them to some degree, either whether we currently attend them or what we see in the news or whatever, yeah? So let's just get straight into it. We
Let's
don't
go.
have time. First question I wanted to ask you guys are, what are your thoughts on black churches in general?
I'm gonna go straight in. So, black churches in general, for me personally, at this moment in time, I feel like they're out of touch right now.
Okay.
Black churches, a lot of
Stop moving the mic.
what?
Stop moving the mic.
It's because I'm
It's too
thinking
much.
about what
It's
I'm
making
saying.
too much
For
noise.
me, a lot of black churches are out of touch. I feel like in this time that we're in, it's very difficult to go to church. There's different aspects, because if you go to America and you was to go to some of those churches, those mega churches,
Yep.
I'm just looking at some of them and I'm just like, I don't know, dog. I don't
Okay.
know, dog. And a lot of it is based on like, it's like, okay, my friend goes to that church, I'm gonna go to that church. I feel like I'm trying to be very, very political with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people are warped in regards to like the churches that they go to, especially in America and those big mega churches, because that's the focus that I'm going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel I don't know whether it's authentic.
Okay. My current viewpoint on black churches is that it's definitely developed. I feel like it's now an active thing where in my age right now, it's down to me to find a church.
Yeah.
And I actually feel like we've actually transitioned from where my friend goes, where my family goes, is where I'm to go. We're now in a place where people are being very intentional, and they need to be intentional about where they want to go. At the age that we're about to start a family, it's like you actively have to go out and seek a church that you want to be part of, and a family that you want to be part of. And I feel like there are still a lot of good churches. I feel like we are very blindsided by the mega churches and the Instagram social media ministry when it comes to church. But
so then how do you find a church if you're not looking on social media?
Do what you normally do, and you go up and you go to somewhere and you go to recommendations, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's not just going to your friend's place. No, people can recommend a church to you, and you can go and attend it like everyone else. And if you like it, you stay. If you don't, you go to another one. There's nothing wrong. Nothing's holding you to that place. So I think I'm not going to point blank and say the black church as a whole is completely in ruins. I feel like there are places out there you just got to actively seek them.
Yeah, right. I agree. I feel like black churches as a whole, that's such a general term, and I can never give like a final statement on black churches as a whole. They're so different.
Yeah.
But if we put them in the categories of like mega churches and then really small family churches, which is what I know, that's what I experience. I go to a small family church run by my dad. Something like that, a mega church is... Sometimes I feel like they're two sides of the same extreme coin.
Yeah.
I feel
in
like,
own ways.
yeah, I have a real problem with mega churches in general. I don't like the monopoly of it. I don't like the idea that it is essentially a running business. I understand the premise behind it, and I understand especially like if we go to Nigerian mega churches like, you know, the Mountain of Fires, the Redeemed, you know that you're getting a certain type of practice. So
like
I guess in some ways
it's
like a denomination in itself, like by being under one name. But as someone who used to go to one of those sort of churches, one of those mega churches, it also comes with its own politics, and then we are just kind of it's just more about religion and more about following the practices of the place than the word of God. And so I just feel like with mega churches, that's kind of where it ends up going, and I don't really care for that in general. So when we talk about mega churches, I don't really rock with mega churches in general. And when we talk about family churches, I think sometimes because it is so small, I also struggle with that from a personal perspective in terms of
breeds familiarity.
Over familiarity, I feel like is a really big problem in the smaller churches. I feel like there's kind of especially if it's really, really small, you have to wear a lot of hats, and you don't really get to, again, you still don't get to, it's more about kind of logistics than it is the word of God. Do you know what I mean? You don't have that opportunity to follow him in your own way. But speaking of mega churches, because I feel like that's
going to be our main topic.
That's kind of our main topic, yeah. So one of the main things, I don't know if you guys have seen it, Mike Todd has been under a lot of scrutiny recently.
Yes,
because of his ways of teaching, and also there was something else that happened as well. But the main thing, I guess, was there was a particular sermon where he was basically saying that people are trashing the temple of God and like the house of the Lord, and so he started like trashing this like prop place with food, and then he started pouring syrup on the Bible. He's throwing pies at stuff. It's a mess. People had a lot of issue with that because regardless of whatever you're doing, you are supposed to treat the Bible with reverence because it's the word of God. And everyone had a real issue with that. What are your immediate thoughts?
Me straight away, when I saw that, I was like, this is why and I have to bring other religions into this. This is why other religions do not respect Christianity to a certain degree. Because you will never see a Muslim man deface the Quran. You will never see that. Like, you will never see that. And then on the other side...
Man or woman,
thank you. And I wouldn't... Like, I understand to an extent what he's trying to do, but I would never see someone else from another religion have to go to that extreme to
prove a point.
100%.
And when you're doing something like that, and look, there's defacing the Bible, that's one thing. You're also doing what you're doing inside the church, inside the house of God. Like, I'm not saying it would have been okay outside, but you're doing it inside the church.
It's even worse.
And like this is even something else, but like even the mess that you're creating inside the church, like it doesn't speak well. So when I saw that, because it was you that showed me that, when I saw that, I was like, you're now taking it a bit too far. And I understand that you're trying to bring younger Christians to the church, or bring in people that are young into the church, but by you doing that, you're already obscuring their view of the church as well.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how deep the stuff that you're doing. In your mind, you're probably saying, okay, cool, this is what I'm doing to kind of connect with the younger generation.
Yeah.
But then later on down the line, like, you don't know the way people's minds work. Like, you've done this, people now feel like it's okay to not respect the Bible.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Even though what you're trying to present is that this is how we are disrespecting the Bible, but you as a pastor as well, it wasn't just one someone in the church. It's the actual pastor, the shepherd that is defacing.
I feel like the key thing about what you said is about going to extreme lengths to tell people about the Bible and prove a point. I think there's definitely a line that has been crossed, and the issue that I'm facing now is that you're the head of the church. You're the person that everyone is supposed to be looking to receive the message, basically. And if you're the head of the church doing that, you're supposed to be someone that has been anointed by God to have that position. Because that's what pastors basically think, that they've been anointed by God to have that position. And the example that you're setting, whether it be that you're trying to paint a picture or not, the example that you're setting is one that's supposed to be leading the next generation of people.
Yeah.
For me, you're starting off on the wrong footing. And my issue here is that at what point do we get to a situation where the idea of or the way you're trying to tell the story becomes bigger than the actual story itself?
Yes.
The message in itself, the actual message behind what you're saying will get lost in the vision. As you can see,
100%.
Everyone has not listened to the message that you were trying to tell. We have not heard what the Bible is saying. We have not received the message from God through you. We have only seen the image. And for me personally, that is you basically putting yourself out there now before God. You're putting your image of what you want based on what you have read out there, which is a big problem.
Now, that's what I was going to say, because you did say something. Obviously, him being a shepherd and obviously the message that he's trying to create there. The one thing I want to say here is that in what he did, obviously he is the man of God. He is everyone's shepherd in that church, and obviously everyone's looking to him, like you said. Now, it makes me ask, and I'm not questioning whether he's a man or God or whatever, but I don't believe God will ever give someone a vision to deface the Bible.
Of course.
So I'm now asking myself, like, where did you get that
idea
presentation? Because ultimately, going based on all the shepherds that I know, when they come to church based on the vision and what God wants to speak through them. So I'm now asking myself,
did God now tell you to deface the Bible?
I know God didn't tell you to do it. So what are you doing?
So this then comes to the point that you were saying, is that you are now putting yourself before God, and you're now trying to do your own will and do your own way. And even as I'm saying this, I'm going down the route of, obviously I'm going a bit too far, like Moses, and obviously Moses being frustrated and all this, and we saw what happened to Moses, but you're doing your own thing, and now you become the face. You're not supposed to become the face.
What's your thoughts, Kesi?
I agree basically with everything that you said, and I feel like, again, this is part of the problem with mega churches. And also, if we use Mike Todd as an example, Transformation Church became very popular around COVID. That was the time that I started tapping in and watching. I was watching Mike Todd sermons on a regular basis, listening to the podcast.
Oh wow!
Listening to the episodes and stuff, because he was so real. Like, it was also around the time of like streetwear hype. He was wearing cool Jordans. I'm like, okay, this is somebody that gets me. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. Like, it's making a lot of sense. It was very easy for me to tap into him and into the word that he was saying as a pastor. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say something. I'm shocked that you guys got onto him that late.
That late? That was when he became big.
He became popular.
Yeah, what was this?
Are you happy to be at the front of the bus? Or
No. I got it. No, because everything that you're saying right now, and it's not me saying that I'm at the front of the bus, but I was listening when I was working in Sphere. I was listening to him.
Oh, that's interesting.
I was listening to him then, and even at that point in time, he was big at that moment in time. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
I remember him getting very, very popular around COVID. That was when I like started taking in his sermons, and like, I'm generally not somebody that really watches a lot of sermons and stuff like that in general online. So that was, and if I am, they're not young, they're like older. So for me, it was like, oh, perfect. Like, this is someone that, like, he gets me. A lot of his word, a lot of the sermons were just speaking to, my situation at the time. So a lot of people did tend to take him in at that point. But this is just the problem with mega churches, is that when you garner a lot of attention, rightly or wrongly, you have to keep the momentum.
You feed off it.
You have to keep the momentum going, and then it gets to a point where it's like, you just like any business. We just spoke about it with matches. It gets to a point where the bigger you get, the more you have to find a source of funding.
Yeah.
And if it's not writing books as a pastor, then what are we doing? What do we have to do to get the people going?
You have to keep getting people's attention.
Social media hysteria.
And that's it. Just like any other agency, the only way to kind of build that momentum, especially if people like me jumped on via social media, taking it in on YouTube, you need to keep on doing more things to keep people watching. And so naturally, it's not to say that God directly told him, make sure you pour syrup on the Bible. But if God said, the thing that I want you to talk about, Mike, is how people are defacing the house of God, or, that there's a part in the Bible where Jesus dashes the temple.
That's what I was going to
and if that was the word that God said that he wants to use for that sermon, and he chose to translate in that way, then the problem is with Mike Todd.
Yeah, 100%.
And the way that he's put
and the way that he translated
100%.
it. So it's not to say that God didn't tell him to do the thing. The problem is that as a business, as a mega church, you are then forced to think about something outside
creative.
and outside of what God has said. It's just how it goes because it's a business. And so it's very easy to lose sight of what is most important. And so that's why it is unfortunate. And that's what I see with a lot of these churches. And actually, going back to what you were saying, I kind of want to take a detour. Going back to what you were saying about making individuals the face of churches.
Yeah.
I've got a real problem with that.
Pastor on their head.
I've got a real
Yeah.
problem with that.
You'll see the advert and you see the pastor's
Is
face.
this the bishop? Bam.
I feel like are we gonna go?
Can we get into the UK ones? Can we talk about the UK ones and call them out?
Look, I'm not part of any of these churches, but I'm gonna be real. Back in uni, I heard about the I was gonna say Quest Loves, the First Loves, and all those kind of churches. Yeah, and for me, like,
Can we talk? Have we all gone to First Love?
I've never been to First Love.
You never been?
I've experienced a First Love
encounter.
Can we
Lakeside?
Can we share?
Our First Love experiences? I will go.
Wait.
Easy.
You see the First Love person that stopped you in Lakeside?
Yeah, man.
Was it a girl?
Yeah.
Do you remember her name?
I do not. And I don't even want to say her name.
Small and skinny.
Tall?
Yeah.
No, she wasn't tall.
Dark skin.
She wasn't tall.
She was.
So that particular person actually used to go to my uni.
Interesting.
We used to be friends. If it's the same person, we used to be friends, and then she joined First Love. And
flip to script,
and now she's in Lake. She's come to find us in Lakeside.
Look, I'll be real. I'm not gonna. I don't know her name. I don't know what she looks like.
We might not be talking about the same person.
It was an encounter that I had with a First Love member. Pretty much everyone's probably experienced this. For me personally, it was once again clay, lights on, but no one's inside. Forgive me, but it was just very random for me. And the thing is, for me, I was very appreciative with what happened. So I was in Lakeside Zara. I think I was buying a gift card for someone, and she randomly came up to me and was like, "Oh, excuse me, hey, are you a Christian?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Oh, okay, look, my name's can I pray for you?" And I was like, "Okay, cool. I mean, I'm happy for someone to pray for me. We're both Christians. Let's pray. Cool.
Yeah.
I've never done that before in my life. We stood there, we prayed inside Zara. Cool. Keep it moving now."
Nice.
She told me that she's from Quest Love.
Can you stop
saying that? I don't know why I could. First Love.
Okay.
She told me she's from First Love, and then she told me about the church. And the conversation about the church itself, I didn't stick around too long, but the conversation about the church itself for me just seemed a bit like it was less about the message about God and more about the message about the church itself, like an advertisement about this is the church, this is what you should come and do. Now that's my only experience of someone from... Actually, no, is it my only experience? I don't know. But from what I've heard, once again, I've never experienced First Love before. But from what I've heard, it just seems like everyone is on the campaign for First Love as opposed to the campaign for God.
Yeah. I think for me, that girl did the same thing to me.
Wow.
When I went Lakeside one time. Yeah, wherever. But I remember going there one time, only been there once. There was one time when we were
to First Love Church.
Yeah, we were in Hendon. We went there because obviously we were not in our parents' houses, and we were saying that we wanted to go back to church because we weren't doing anything on a Sunday except for just chilling in our rooms. So we went there now. What I didn't like about that church, because the sermon, everything was fine.
Right.
Until they said, obviously, do you want to dedicate your life back to God?
Yep.
So I came up. I was like, yes, of course, because I'm trying to get back to the church. they now put their hand on my shoulder or my head or wherever it is,
Yeah.
and they said, I command you to speak in tongues.
Right.
He said, you're going to speak in tongues by the time we're finished.
Right.
I command you to speak in tongues. And I'm just doing my prayer. I'm just doing my praying because I'm like, okay, if God wants me to speak in tongues, I will speak in tongues.
Right.
Yeah, I will speak in tongues because not everyone is meant to speak in tongues.
Everyone's doing
Right.
that gift.
Yes.
Fair.
So doing it now, I'm praying. He goes, speak in tongues now. I was like, what? I was like, nigga, what?
My guy.
I was like,
What's going on?
One eye open, I went, okay, all right. So obviously he's forcing me.
I
so
mean, I guess.
me, I'm just muttering things, and he's like, no, speak in tongues. I was like, what the heck is going on here? What the heck?
guy, like,
I was like, I
Brother,
don't.
I'm doing the best I can.
I was like, I don't think that feature is available right now. What the heck is going on? After he's
This
done,
feature has not been unlocked yet. Let me give it some time.
Mate, after I was done, I was like, I walked out, I was like, I cannot speak in tongues.
That happened.
This feature's not.
Sure.
Yeah, that's definitely the angle. So anyway,
And the Mormons. A lot of them
Okay.
too.
So I got invited to a church service one Sunday. I went. It was actually at my university, so I went there, and pretty standard church service. But the service was completely based around the
Mission?
the bishop.
Oh.
The bishop, I don't remember his name, sorry, but everyone calls him daddy, and like that's the, do you know what I mean? Like whatever, that's their daddy still. And then when it was done, the thing that I didn't like was that they made us sing the grace, and it was just like a completely different version to the grace. And I think one thing about the grace is like, that is scripture. That is actually
Yeah,
from
actual
Psalm
word for
23.
word.
Like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is not
Bar
like,
for bar,
do
scripture.
you know what I mean?
It's not a song that someone just made
So
up.
we had to, we sang it in a song, and then like there was like a second verse. It was so weird, and I was just like, right, okay, this is really odd. Anyway, so I went with my friend at the time, and I was like, yeah, cool, all right, thanks, that was cool. And then I got stopped at the door. Basically, they did not let me leave, and they were like, we would really, really love for you to sign up to the church before you go. And I was like, yeah, I'll put my name down, I'll put my details down so that you guys can reach out if anything else is happening. She was like, so when will you next be able to come? And I said, I don't know, you know, my dad's a pastor, so I go to his
that.
church.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got that.
It was like, so is it going to be possible for you to come maybe next Sunday?
I got that
Okay,
too.
so she was like, okay, so is this your current number? Can I use this to call to check on you to see if you're going to come next week?
Nah,
I got
the
checked
WhatsApp
up on,
message.
so
Right.
yep.
So she was like, what I can do is I can
Scary.
add you into the group chat where we like talk about our services and stuff. So they did. They added me into the group chat. I was in there, and I just got so many messages of them checking in on people who didn't come in. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with that because I do appreciate the need to check in with people, especially if they come every week. But I just arrived. I'm a guest. Like, there's got to be another.
Yeah.
And basically, when I went, similar thing of speaking in tongues. There was a moment where the girl was like, right, everyone start speaking. Like, okay, no, that's not what happened. We were singing, and we're singing a song, and then the leader of the praise and worship was like, and you know, speak in tongues, and everyone just started like speaking in tongues.
Yeah. The thing is, yeah, there's nothing wrong with trying to call people to speak in tongues. Like, for sure, like it's
But like looking at people to make sure that they do.
it's like you
I can't
can't
speak in tongues.
beat someone for not speaking in tongues. They can't speak in tongues yet.
Yeah.
That's something that the Holy Spirit will give to that
100%.
person in due time. And then yes, you may have to pray about it for sure.
Yeah.
Let them pray about it. But if they don't speak in tongues at that point, it's cool. Now I know we're sticking on to First Love. I don't know every other church out there, but I've heard some stuff about the Black Church.
Karis?
Once again, we're not going to sit and start doing he said, she said.
Karis.
But there's a lot of stuff going in the Black Church. I've heard stuff about churches talking about they try to push people to get married as soon as they join the church, as soon as possible. Yep. I've heard about thing about the black church is that, and this is the whole idea around false prophets that we're having right now, is that once you take it away from God and you specifically, I feel like a lot of the focus now is about trying to draw people to the church, keeping people in the church.
Yeah.
But it's like the message for me personally is like, how much is that being told within the church?
Yeah.
And how much is it more about the marketing of the church as opposed to bringing people to God and speaking the message to them? And it's a fine line. It is a very fine line. And I feel like a lot of people are going to sit there. It's like, how can you complain about a church trying to draw more people into the house of God?
Yep.
I'm not complaining about that. I feel like that's a good thing. As I said, when someone approaches me on the road,
it's how you do it.
It's not about how you do it either. I feel like you've got to try and do it in a certain way. We know that the simple evangelizing on the road is very hard. It's very hard. It's not the easiest thing. And all of a sudden, we are in a space where it's like, as times change, we have these avenues. You have social media, you have all that kind of stuff. You have to change it to be able to attract more people for sure. For me personally, it's like, but the whole idea of drawing people to God is not like, it's not
a sales tactic.
It's not a sales tactic. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm trying to sell you this product. It's not I'm in the market trying to sell you a brand new gadget. Like I'm trying to tell you the story of God, and it's down for you in your heart to make that decision. Yeah. Because I'm not going to be the person standing there on Judgment Day talking to God for you and be your advocate. That's not me. Jesus is already our advocate, and he speaks on our behalf. Now it's down for you to make a decision within you to say, okay, I want to be a follower of God.
So
now, you can't hold my leg and say, do this now, or else it's not going to work for you. I'm sorry, that kind of tactic does not work, and I feel like that's what has come across in a few black churches that I've heard of.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say that the thing about like coercive evangelizing, I'm not too hot on it, but I'm not.
You get it?
I'm not. I do understand. I understand, because it's not as simple. If you go out and hand someone a flyer, 1 out of 100 people might actually turn up on the day, if that. So I do understand the need to be a bit more forceful in terms of stopping people and getting really interactive.
I'm not sure forceful's the word though.
Yeah, I don't think. Do you know?
Okay, maybe not. Okay, wait. Maybe not forceful. Maybe just a bit more. Yeah, a bit more persuasive. A bit stronger in your approach. My issue is intimidating members, especially once they're already in the church. That's the issue that I have, that I don't feel like we've touched on yet. And I feel like, if I'm going to use an example, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and her sibling goes to a big church, like one of these UK churches. Is the name of the church, yeah? Should I bleep that out?
No, it's fine. We're talking about the church. Talk.
Well, yes, I think it's important to name churches. Churches like First Love, like it's not a unique experience.
Talk about it.
So this particular person is like, well, I'm not seeing my sibling as much. They're not coming around as much anymore, and like I don't want to go too deep into the thingy, because I don't want to.
That's their story.
But that's their story. But it's like, this is not the first time. If you think about a lot of the stories that we hear with SPAC Nation, a lot of their money is going into the church, and it's not going into other things. They are dedicating their time that they're supposed to be spending at school, or that they're supposed to be spending on other things. They're lacking in certain areas because they're dedicating most of the time at the church. This is the problem that I'm having, is that it's getting to a point where we are following a church, we're following a practice to the point at our own expense. That is where I feel like we are going away from what God wants us to do. If you're giving your tithe to God, that's fine. If you're giving all of your paycheck because the church told you that you need to give all of your paycheck with promises that God will save you, we're going somewhere that we should not be. And that's the problem that I'm seeing with a lot of these churches, is that there is that element of, it's no long, I don't want to say it's cult-like, but
it's not too far from that.
We're not too far away from that line. And I do feel like a lot of those churches, in an effort to keep members together, I feel like, what I will just say is that I definitely feel like we are losing sight of what is most important, which is the message that God has instilled in us to share and to bring people to God, not to the church, and to keep them in the church for the sake of that community to build.
And I'll be real, I feel like, don't get me wrong now, because I'm not trying to say the Bible is there to intimidate, but the Bible does more than enough to convict people.
Yeah.
Trust me, read the Bible, you will gain some sort of conviction. If you don't change, then I'm sorry,
That's
then
on you.
That's on you.
Right.
But there's more than enough in the Bible to convict people. Let's use the word intimidate that you use, right? When it comes to trying to draw people to God. So I feel like there isn't a need for you to have to be so inventive to tell people about God. If you're trying to be intimidating and be like, you have to do it, like this is like the most pressure, this is like the big decision you have to make of your life, because it's about your eternity. Like, I get that, but the Bible does that, just explains that more than enough.
You just
Your job is just to be a voice and like to introduce them to. Sure, I feel like you give your life to Christ and you serve God, but now people are, and I want to be careful with this because I feel like the Holy Spirit is telling me that maybe I shouldn't say this, but I feel like a lot of people are serving the church a lot, and it's like there's a fine line in terms of like what we're talking about in terms of serving the church, and it's almost cultism. Yeah, you get what I mean?
Yeah,
and I feel like we're not going to sit and sugarcoat it. Like, people, you can see it. Like, we're not going to sit and act like. In my personal opinion, you can change drastically, but you can tell when it's like almost like it's
manipulated.
Someone's gone to a certain church and then all of a sudden they are completely different, and not in like, I've been touched by God. In I go to that church.
And the thing
100%.
is, like, I'm like, because I'm really feeling convicted about this point, but it's like I'm just trying to get out in the right way, and it's not I'm not saying what I'm saying is wrong, but it's like I'm just saying, like, you can tell. We're not going to sit and you can tell when it's like, this doesn't look like
it's you
get what I mean? It doesn't look right.
I get what you're saying. Because I don't want, if you're being convicted, then
it's because I feel like God is trying to get me to say it in the right way. I just don't want to say the wrong thing, because I said it's a fine line.
No, it's definitely a fine line, and it's not right. To be honest, it's not right. But I think, like we said, this is the episode that is obviously focused on false prophets, and honestly, like, it's a very, very weird time, because even when you look at church, like, we're talking about small, medium, large churches, and like you said, from a small to a mega church, because mega is large, they all have their own issues. And from a small church, we spoke about, obviously, you being so familiar with everyone, and then obviously that causes issues, and it kind of drives you away from church. And then obviously mega churches, you see what they're doing, and obviously if you're not sucked into everything that's going on, then if you see it and you're like, okay, no, that's a bit weird, it drives you away. So where do you actually find, obviously not saying that there isn't no church because there's churches out there that are obviously good churches and obviously speak the word of God and stuff, but it makes it difficult for you to want to go to church. Can
I ask a question?
Go on.
Because with what you're saying, that small, medium and large, there are different issues, so to speak, with all of them. But something that I feel like comes up, or at least from personal experience that comes in my church, for example, which is a smaller church, is more about how radical the sermons are. Do we have time to talk about that?
Well,
I wanted to talk about just like, because the thing is, when we were talking about Mike Todd and we were talking about like the way in which he does things, that's one thing that I sometimes struggle with, no matter the size of the church, is about how radical the sermon is. And it's something that we see in all churches.
I feel like the radical part, sorry, do you want to go?
No, go.
I feel like the radical part depends on what the topic is.
The topic, yeah.
And I feel like stories in the Bible can be very radical because it's just purely the truth. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to preach on Revelation.
It's black and white.
And sugarcoat it. It's fully black and white. Like, it doesn't need to be, that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't need to be made extreme, because for me personally, it's extreme. It's extreme as it could get. You get what I mean? So it's like, when it comes to radicalizations, I feel like when it needs to be point blank, make it point blank, because that's the only way you're going to convict people. Don't sugarcoat it for anyone and try and be like, well, it's like, you can do this because I'm sorry, like it's not like that.
Yeah.
That's not what God's word
That's
says.
not God's word
It's black
says.
and
Like,
white.
that's what I'm saying. Just stick to what God's words are saying, and it should guide you. That should be more than enough of a guide. Like, we don't need you to sit there and trying to do the most extravagant things. Like, God's word already is extravagant and amazing in itself.
Yeah.
I think for me is I think it really depends on the topic that's being said, but it's even how you present this radical side of whatever it is, because ultimately I feel like something that has been lost is, if you look at the way our mum and dad used to pray, I can't say we, but I don't feel like it's the same in this day and age. Like, I feel
into the right church.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, it really depends on where you are.
How did they used to pray?
Like found fire kind of prayer.
Like this is like
fight for their life.
The church that are doing it still.
Like no, I don't, because even like if
I was gonna say my church.
Casey's church does that. Like I love Casey.
They really work very well.
You finished now?
No, I'm just putting that out if anyone wants looking for a church.
But like, so there are churches that are out there, and what I was gonna say is that, like, when I go to Casey's church, I will get that. When obviously our pastor and Casey's dad are obviously two different types of pastors. The way they will preach is different. But I feel like radical prayers, because I'll use radical prayers, they're needed.
There's a time and a place for sure.
There's a time and a place, and I feel like the pastor needs to engage it when needed. Now I feel like,
but is that the pastor to decide, or just God lay it on them to, this is the time that we need to be radical?
Yes, it depends on how hot they are. Like for example, if the Holy Spirit is guiding them, it depends on how the whole Holy Spirit is touching them, will determine how. But there are some pastors that I believe that are actually just that type,
that
like
purely
like they are like with God, they don't joke about God. So, and as they don't joke about God, that's how they preach.
That I was going to say, actually, I don't think it's just about, I think it's that, yes, but I also think it's down to the church itself, because I feel like, using my dad as an example, we are children of MFM, so we came from Mountain of Fire, and so my dad's influence
shake the ground kind of stuff.
We're shaking until the yoke is broken. Do you know what I mean? So in terms of the way that my dad prays, my dad is influenced by the way that Mountain of Fire prays. And so that is the type of prayer that we will pray. Do you know what I mean? That's the way, that's the style in which, it doesn't matter, even if it's a Thanksgiving type of prayer, we're praying in that way. Like, we're fighting for our lives every time. So I don't feel, yes, it's definitely the person, but then it boils down to not an issue, but something that I realize is that for us, if you want a particular style, I've deeped that it's a particular place that you have to go to. Because I haven't gone anywhere where there's been a fire prayer, but then it's soft at the right time. No, it's fire all the time, or it's soft all the time.
No, I've been to places where it's a mixture of both.
Really?
I feel like our pastor does a mixture of both. I feel like sometimes
I disagree.
I feel like he's done it before in the past, maybe not as recent.
I don't think he does it as much anymore.
There have been times when we've done on fire prayers.
Was that like around KICC times?
No. This is when he left.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
We've done just the point before you. But
over 9 years ago.
No, there's been occasions.
I just haven't been around.
But go.
No, I feel like it depends on what stage you are in terms of Christianity and what stage you are in terms of going to churches as well. I feel like if you've had experience of on fire prayers, it's not something that will worry you or scare you.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like if you're new to Christianity, someone bringing you to an on fire prayer church
that could be
is not a great start. I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be the easiest start. It's quite, I mean, I was a kid when we used to have on fire prayers and you'll see people falling down, everything. Like it's scary stuff. It was scary to me.
It's traumatic.
To this day, it can be scary. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it's scary. Do you think that there's a time that you're supposed to enter that sort of thing? Because
no.
I don't think anytime, any place.
I feel like, what, in terms of when you're supposed to be introduced to it?
Yeah.
No, there's not any time. And if anything, I feel like I'm happy I was introduced to it at a younger age.
Yeah,
agreed.
Because
it's like, I've grown up with this. It's that, and even if I am scared, it's like, I've been here. I know what this is about.
Yeah.
It's a serious moment. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say, but it's a serious moment. Now, I feel like, as an adult, seeing that, it's now you now are in a space where you can make that decision.
Yeah,
you're not going to church with your parents anymore. It's down to you to go and find, as I said in the beginning, a church that works for you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you both a question because we need to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, what type of prayer do you guys prefer? Because obviously,
It depends on the time, man. I think that's the best answer.
honestly,
I prefer fire prayers all the
I'm
time.
not gonna lie. Not like obviously it's yes because obviously the
even
times
in
when
the
I go
morning and before you go to bed.
mate. Before I go. No. So okay,
You do fire prayers before you go to bed in the morning too.
Church wise, fire prayer
All the time.
Like, every time I'm not gonna. Like I said, Kesi's dad and Pastor Sam are two different pastors, and Pastor Sam is coming from a place of study, really understanding the gospel, really understanding where God comes from, and yes, you've got the prayers, and his prayers are wicked in a good way. But Kesi's dad's church, whenever I go to his church, I'm not gonna lie, I walk in there, yeah, and I'm like, yeah,
It's go time, baby.
yeah. No, I'm like, me and the devil were going
Toe to
12 rounds,
toe.
and yeah. And sometimes, like, it's made like going to her church and experiencing two different types of church. Not saying that that's all I want, because I love both sides. I want to understand the Bible, and that is like, if I could get both, perfect. But and there is no, I'm not saying that your dad doesn't do
I'm
that.
not saying that.
But for me,
Is that what?
but for me, I'm not gonna lie. Like this goes back to what I was saying in regards to like our parents, and obviously our parents were born in Nigeria. This is how they were brought up. But like I've said to Kesi before, the reason why they were praying like this, and this is why I feel like it's so important for it to be embraced, is because the devil doesn't stop.
No.
Yeah.
The devil
Never.
doesn't stop. And not saying that a soft prayer doesn't work. I'm not saying that. But you it's go time.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Every single time.
But I feel like that's the thing. It depends on what you're praying about personally too. If I'm thanking God for the day, I'm not going to be on fire praying to thank God for my day.
Thank you, God.
Depends on how passionate you are about the day.
Yeah, exactly. It depends. If you had a really, really stressful day,
Yeah.
it's go time.
Fair,
I'm
fair,
on my
fair,
knees.
fair, fair.
So yes, to answer your
go
question,
time.
it's definitely that. There's a time and a place. When you're thanking God, you don't need to yell. Do you know what I mean? He can hear you.
Like,
Thank you,
Can you
God.
imagine being in
Yeah,
the church,
it's not
and it's
necessary.
literally like we're doing the grace, and it's on fire prayer for the
Yeah.
grace.
But you know what? Yeah, I'll be honest. That fire for God, yeah, there's a level that it brings you up to.
Oh,
that
for sure.
that
Spiritually,
yes,
yes.
spiritually, I do enjoy it. So again, if I had to choose, I would just choose somewhere that has fire prayers, because that is that for me. That is what I feel is necessary. But
Fire prayers all the time. Sorry.
I mean, like,
A large
come on, it's
majority
not
of the time.
fire.
I'm not gonna lie.
Most of the
It
time.
really wakes up
But-
the spirit. It
So,
really
Yeah.
but that's
But I feel like,
on fire
but
prayers.
we're not talking about church. We're talking about how we want to pray, I guess. And to answer that question, there's a time. There's a time to there's a time to yell.
Yeah.
There's a time to cry for your life,
For
because you're
sure.
fighting for your life. But when it's time to thank God, for me, my thing is I want to sing all the time.
Yeah,
So
worship is a big outlet.
that is for me. Yeah, that is my most important thing. And sometimes when you're at church, your pastor might say, all right, use this time to thank God. For me, when that time comes,
start
I'm
singing,
singing,
yeah.
immediately, because I just feel like praise and worship is just that girl.
It takes you to places.
Yeah,
it does,
it is
it
just
does.
that girl. And it says in the Bible as well, like when the angels are worshiping God, they're doing it via praise and worship. Do you know what I mean? Like all of that in terms of like praising him, I feel like that is my most
praise and
powerful
worship, yeah.
that is my most powerful way of
I agree.
speaking to God and hearing from God. So that's me. But yes, fire praise, that is just
that one is a.
I just feel like that's just
It's a
my
must.
yeah,
It's a must.
it's necessary.
It's a must, yeah.
It's a must. You can't
Anyway.
chill. Let me even tell you one time, yeah, because we need to end the episode. There was one time, yeah, me and Kesi were going to church. Yeah, Kesi, we've spoken about this. And there was one time we were listening to gospel, because that's what we do now.
Oh, yes.
When we go to church. There was one time I was just bawling on the side.
Yeah, of
there.
course.
That's what it do.
That's what it do.
That's what it do.
Yeah.
Kesi did not even see
Didn't
me
flinch.
bawling.
Drive.
Didn't even
flinch.
see. I was driving. I was driving. I was bawling on the stairs.
Worship and gospel.
Didn't even
music
do this. Didn't even see me. The chair was here.
No, it can really touch
Mate,
a situation that you're going through.
I
and
was
it can change your life.
blowing bogey bubbles on the altar when I was singing one time.
Wow, you really got
all
to that stage,
the time.
bogey.
Yeah. There was one
God
point.
touched you, boy.
There was one point, like within this period. I don't know what was happening that time. If I'm up and I'm singing worship, I'm crying without a doubt. My
Oh,
knees
wow.
are shaking, hands shaking like this. It's a
Wow.
whole thing. Yeah, you give God the glory, man.
Those
Yeah,
are
man.
the best times, man.
Truly.
Experiencing more.
Anyway, guys, I think that brings us to the end of today's episode. This is
Yeah.
it's always nice to talk about my master living Jesus.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. This was great. Let us know
did.
what you guys think. I think it's really important to strike a balance, but at the end of the day, I think all this says is that the most important thing is that you have a relationship with God, so that you can perfectly define what it is and how it is that you speak to God and God speaks through you.
Yep.
And I feel like sometimes when we depend on churches to do that for us, we either find ourselves in a stagnation type cult, or we find ourselves in a situation where the practices of the church is defining how we worship Him, and that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Find a place that works for you and be led by the Holy Spirit.
exactly. Quick fire question, if you could move from your current church, would you?
Yes.
Ooh, why?
Because I'm still trying to find my church. I feel like the church that I'm at the moment was the church that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. I just feel like it was my family's church, and I just need to find a place where I feel like I can call my own.
Michael?
Yeah, I agree with Toby. The thing is, there's no issue in staying in one church.
Sure.
There isn't, but
I'm just at a space where I want to find my place for myself and figure out my own. But I just feel like I've grown out of my church. I just need to find somewhere else. It's fine.
yeah, I agree with him. Like, the thing is, I'm being led by God. Like, at the end of the day, if God wants me to stay in the church, I will stay in the church. Like, I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Like, I've
This
said
is a quick fire question.
Yeah, no, because I've said it before that okay, cool, I'm looking for another church, but ultimately I'm led by God. Whatever
Exactly.
God says,
That's the biggest
is what
thing.
it is.
Yeah, 100%.
My answer is no, actually. I really like my dad's church.
That's what you
I know.
She better wake up.
I really struggled with my dad's church at first because he is a very radical pastor, and like his prayers are obviously radical and like fire prayers, but his sermons sometimes can be on the more volatile side of I think it's okay. You know how we were saying with Mike Todd, how obviously his message is he translates it through himself, and so that's how it ended up coming out. I feel like sometimes my dad does the same thing, but because he's so traditional, it comes out in a way that doesn't necessarily resonate with me.
Okay.
So I struggle with that, but I take it with a pinch of salt, and I try and hear the word, and only the word.
What?
That's my answer. Thanks, guys. That has been Hype and Then Some, episode 147. Hopefully you have enjoyed. Let us know in the comments what you think, and put it back. Okay. You know where to find us on all of our socials by searching Hype and Then Some. Giveaway should be live by now. Hoodies are on the way. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much
Pray
for
for us.
waiting.
We need those hoodies.
Hoodies will be with you soon. But until then, guys, MBT, do we have any other business?
Guys, this is Hype and Then Some. This is episode 147. We're out.
Peace.